Ooh, let's get serious.
I'm Harry, the Yak Team Commander. Yak Mission 50. 5 Retro Unlimmers on the way to Retro Unlim HQ for a 50th episode party at the old Lakeshore Winery House of Mr. and Mrs. Scott Bailey.
Hang on a second. We need to get our lingerie. Where's our lingerie? We're
Your
going to be
mission.
5 attractive teenage girls in a horror movie. We got to bring... You failed already.
Your mission, protect those 5 Unlimmers. Last night, our investigators got into the house and found a weird security system. Hidden webcams in almost every room. It is your job to submit topics and questions for these participants in the comments section for Retro Unlim Live 50. And this is my attack squad for tonight's mission. We have... I'm gonna stop that now. Sorry, that's stupid, isn't it? We have...
You didn't make us sound like Night Trap. You made us sound like an episode of Ghost Event.
You made it sound like the fucking Wire.
Well, that's the cut price Tesco version. That's the only version we could get. I'm sorry. We couldn't get the official soundtrack, so I'm afraid you'll have to settle for that. Anyway, with me tonight, I have Agent Dude, the 90s video game dude, Rich Higton,
Hello.
and quite possibly Edith on weekends. Hello!
Hello.
Brennan.
How are you?
I'm very well, Edith. How are you?
Hi. What's that you saying to me?
It's been a while. Sorry?
Yes, it's been a long while because I just don't have time to do things anymore. I really don't have time to do things, and it's not good. But I'm trying. Very, very trying.
Well, time is the
Do or
greatest...
do not. There is no try.
It's the greatest
Yeah.
enemy of all. Greatest enemy of
It
all,
is.
even greater than those Augers. So thank you for joining us tonight, but we have some more agents. We have the Execution Ranger. It is Mr. Desert Island Typecast, J-Dog, and John Latimer on weekends.
Hello.
Hello, JL.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation of my name and stuff.
Yes, welcome to the Lakeshore Winery House of Mr. and Mrs. Scott Bailey.
Mr. and Mrs. Scott and Bailey, that's an actual show.
Oh my god. Fucking show.
That's Scott's, as I put on it, that's Scott's Charlie's Angels equivalent.
You're not the only one, though, because everyone's done that. About, I don't know, 50 people's done it. Like, oh yeah, your show's up.
I only came across it the other day in my defence, and then I saw when I looked at it, wait, what, you've been running since 2011?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was the voice of Agent Pepsi, I think he's drinking Pepsi there, and darling of Google's wider Big Brother security network. It is Dave, a.k.a. Lawn Boys Post 1975.
Well, he's a Data Plato, this group.
Can
isn't
I
he?
just
not
ask
Pepsi.
if Agent Shirley is there as well?
Yes, yes. She's here.
Don't call me Shirley.
Is this
What
some
are you
kind of
drinking?
bus? Yes, ma'am, it's very impressive.
Don't call me Steve.
What are you drinking, Dave?
I'm on the Carling. We already discussed this. It was an offer in the local supermarket, and I'm cheap.
Yaks don't listen.
Yaks don't do anything except eat grass. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight, Dave. But we have Agent Scott's Game Reviews SGR, Scott Bailey, a.k.a. Scott and Bailey, a.k.a.
Shut up.
Not the Console Snob.
Yay. That's not getting old. Hooray.
Yeah.
And I think we know who's going to be killed off first tonight.
Yeah, probably. Drain me dry.
How's it going then?
Yeah, good. I would be playing Dark Souls 3, but I've been invited to this. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Live from the sexy boudoir.
You must admit, though, that this is much, much better than Dark
Oh
Souls
no,
3.
it's actually pretty cool. I've been looking forward to this episode. But I think our special guest has been just logged out of the call. So
We've
what?
basically scared them off.
Yes, we have a special guest tonight, and we would give him a huge introduction.
Past tense, Yak. We had a special guest.
Yeah, but he was driving here in his car, and now he's disappeared. I presume his battery has run out in his phone. So in the meantime, Mr. Scott and Bailey is going to sing you a rendition of the Night Trap theme.
No, I'm not.
Okay, I will. All right, here we go. As if nothing happened.
Oh, I think somebody's got a plan out for you because as soon as you said hello, my phone overheated and shut down. So now I've turned the air conditioning on. I think it was control. They're trying to get us, make sure we don't have communication. I don't know what's going on, but I got nice chill on my phone now.
Excellent. Well, would you like to hear my little prepared introduction for you, Giovanni?
Absolutely.
Okay. And finally, in charge of them all, we have a man with the same code name as you, Liquid Snake. Nah, I'm only joking. It's Agent Night Trap. Cousin Tony himself, the actor, musician, fighter, writer, delighter, and all-round polymath, it is Night Trap star Giovanni Lemm.
Hold on. Night Trap! Ooh. Night Trap. Oh yeah, don't worry, Retro Unlimited. They're not gonna screw with us today. I'm changing up the lines. Would you guys?
The light up eyes effect now.
So, Giovanni is joining us live from the road. Where are you currently?
I am in Virginia, beautiful Virginia, the place where we defeated you guys a couple hundred years ago and started our own miserable country.
What was that? An American football match?
Yeah. I'm not actually, I was born in Italy, funny enough.
Ah, right. How long did you live in Italy?
Oh gosh, off and on, maybe a year and a half. I spent most of my life in Los Angeles. Obviously, that's how I got involved in Night Trap. I moved to Virginia about 15 years ago, and I can't wait till my daughter's 18 so I can get back to California.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you very much, Giovanni, for joining us tonight. Is it okay for us to ask you questions yet, or are you concentrating on the road?
No, I never actually pay attention to the roads. Matter of fact, there's the ambulance and the fire truck right now because of...
Oh, yes.
Put your seatbelt on, man.
That could be you if you answer a question incorrectly, and the Augers come for you.
That is, yeah, feel free, man. Anything you want to ask, of course.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions to get us started, guys?
Yeah,
I have one, actually.
Oh, go on, Dave. Do you want to go?
I was, well, I mean, we're all familiar with Night Trap. I think I only got to play it once when my brother had his Mega or Sega CD back in the day, and being a child, it was just too much effort for me because I was a lazy child. But the massive backlash, because I've been watching some documentaries on it, and the massive backlash at the time, all these Mothers of America and the Oprah Winfrey Army saying, this is disgraceful, this is disgusting, we must stop this game, it's destroying the minds of the youth. And then the bloke from Nintendo at the time came forward and did the press conference just to get attention, where he said, this game will never appear on a Nintendo system. To which my first thought was, yeah, no shit, you won't have optical media for 10 years. But did you yourself suffer any backlash from this kind of, the fact that it was made a scapegoat for destruction of the minds of the youth at the time? Did it hold you back in any way, or did random mothers come up to you on the street and say, you destroyed my son's mind?
Well, it's funny because we did the filming actually in 1987, and they didn't even bring it out for, 4.5, 5 years. California.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and because it's funny because when I saw myself on IMDb and it listed it as 1992, and I literally questioned myself, thinking to myself, am I wrong? Did I really do this in 92? It was 1987, and no, man, there was, in terms of any type of backlash, no, I mean, I don't remember anything like that, only because...
That was just the angry soccer mums then.
Oh my God! Yeah, well, that was during the time, like when they were all the family councils, when Tipper Gore was going after like the dead Kennedys and all the punk bands and putting all the labels on records and stuff like that. All that junk during that time, which is utter hypocrisy, considering they're busy consistently, going all around the world starting skirmishes. So to have the audacity to say something so, looking back, is pretty relatively tame compared to what's out there today. It seems so silly.
Well, there's a follow-up question now that you've said the when you actually filmed it being 1987, which was, what system was it intended for at the time of filming?
Well, when I'll be honest with you, when I first got the audition, when I first got the part, I really did not know. I don't think any of us really knew what was to be expected. It was right around the time when Lost Boys came out with Kiefer Sutherland, and they kind of kept it on the hush-hush. We were doing all those scenes over and over again and not knowing why we're repeating scenes and doing different takes. So looking back, I don't think a lot of people really knew what on earth was going on.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to Night Trap. I love the game, but I like what it did rather than what it was. It opened the doors to adult gaming being accepted as a medium, because back then they thought, oh, the gaming's for kids, when really the people who grew up with, say, the Atari 2600 were getting to the point where they were getting older, so they were looking for older games. And so Night Trap, Doom, and all these other games come at the right time. They also come at the worst time because of all the controversy.
Sure.
But the first Night Trap game, if I'm not mistaken, was originally going to be for a VHS-based games console. I think it was done by Bandai. It was going to be called the Nemo. That didn't happen because the VHS game console was fucking dumb.
Sure.
So it was almost kind of in the vein of Captain Power then.
Well, the idea of Night Trap, from what I've done, this is all off the internet, so it could be all bullshit. But the idea was that the VHS game was going to be like a choose-your-own-adventure sort of style. But then that didn't come to happen, and then all the footage was sat in a vault for years. And then the people who made Night Trap, originally the Sega CD, they basically acquired all that footage and then stitched it into the game that we have to this day.
Well, Scott, if I may just jump in here, we have a little bit of a snippet of information about the original Night Trap, which was originally filmed over 3 weeks in 1987 at Culver City, California, for an unreleased game entitled Scene of the Crime. It was originally developed for Hasbro's Control Vision video game system.
That's it.
That indeed used VHS tapes instead of ROM cartridges.
That's it.
And when Hasbro discontinued the system, the footage was placed into an archive, and the game never materialized until it was purchased in 1991 by the founders of Digital Pictures.
Yeah.
And the game eventually cost $1.5 million to produce. It was remastered, new parts shot, and renamed Night Trap upon release date on the CD, the Sega CD, the 32X, the 3DO, and the PC platforms. And
wait! It's on the 3DO.
Yeah.
Well, and it's much better quality apparently. The video, is that true?
Oh, I've got a 3DO. Oh, I've got to get it now.
I
Just
do
for
have
that-
it somewhere.
Sorry,
I think
Scott.
I do have it somewhere, but I think it's in one of my drawers. Never mind. I've got the Mega CD version here.
Oh, there we go. So, were you going to ask a question there, Scott? Sorry, I just jumped in.
Well, I think, Dave answered it really. It's like, how did you get involved in the project?
Okay.
Well, I had just signed up with an agency in Hollywood called Bond Agency. It was actually my very first audition ever. And they called us in. It was kind of an unknown project. They wanted me to be kind of sullen and morose, and I walked in, and then I guess I nailed it right off bat. They called me like 2 days later, said you got the part. And
It's the
within
shades,
maybe-
man. You had the Roy Orbison shades on. I think that's what really got the part.
I think you're right, because I tried to be a method actor and walked up to the set, and I had my sunglasses on. I scurried myself into a corner, didn't talk to any of the rest of the cast and crew for a couple days, and now like, this sucks, I'm not doing this. Started getting friendly with everybody.
How old were you at the time of the audition?
I was 19, and
Wow.
I'm 114 now.
Wow.
It's been a really long time. Hard to believe that much time has gone by.
Giovanni, we have a question from the floor from GameTaff in the comments. He asks, "Hi Giovanni, did you know when filming the game that it was going to be a controversial thing? Or did you just think it was just some fun and it wouldn't be a big issue?"
I mean, I honestly looked at it as the beginning of my acting career, modeling career, whatever you want to call it. You know, at 19 years old, you don't think anything's really controversial to begin with.
No.
So and again, like I was saying before, it was right, not too long after the time with the Tipper Gore and them going against punk bands, and I was a huge punk rocker guy. So to me, nothing was controversial. I just thought, live and let live as long as you're not hurting anybody else, and I just had a really great time doing it. So it was nothing other than a gig.
And was it a good gig? Did you enjoy it overall?
Oh my God, I had so much fun. I mean, I became, I hung out with Josh for a couple. We were friends for about 3.5 years, and we lost touch. And I was friends with Dana for a long time, and obviously she passed away. Those were the two. I ran into Andros a couple times. We've talked, but he, short of those two, didn't really hang out with anybody else. But all in all, the experience was a lot of fun.
Okay. We have another question here from Steve, the owner of Retro Unlim, who asks, "What was it like working with the late Dana Plato? Any good stories?"
Well, I don't know if I can tell the stories, but
Oh.
no, she was a wild one. Honestly, I don't want to besmirch her spirit or her character, but she was a real free spirit and partook in things that eventually led to her death. It was a sad story, to be quite frank. She would tell me a lot of stuff about, being on different strokes, things that happened with her family, the loss, losing her son in terms of custody, and then, of course, her son eventually committed suicide in the same place where she lived. I don't know if you guys know that.
Oh, that's brutal.
And but she was cool. Josh was another really cool kid. We were a number of years of difference in age, and he lived down like near Redondo Beach, and this was back in the day when we had no helmet laws or anything in California. So we just, I would ride my motorcycle or scooter, and we would just go party it up all the time. And he's the first person I did acid with, and so we had lots of fun stories.
Oh, like us jumping in here, Dana. When I was growing up, because Night Trap, when it came out, I was 8, but Dana stuck out my mind in that sort of early age, because I don't know about you guys, Baywatch and all that was about when we were kids, and that sort of like turned my head to like, ooh, wow, she's beautiful, and Dana especially in Night Trap, it's just, there was the snapshot of her probably at her prime, and yeah, she's beautiful, and also great. It was the whole project, the whole thing itself is just great fun. And when we go back and watch all these debates about Night Trap being evil, I'm thinking to me like, how any of these fuckers play this game or even watch any of the footage, because Night Trap is about here, while say Friday the 13th is about up here in terms of graphic content. It just blows my mind.
Well, I think what happens is the government, which always ends up sticking its big mouth, big foot in its own mouth, and trying to prevent people, to be quite honest with you, having fun. And anytime there's any type of new technology, new type of music, new type of anything, they think, hey, you know what? We're smarter than the rest of the people. Let's do something to make everybody else's life miserable, and somehow also bring in money in terms of fines and all the other stuff in turn. So. To me, it was really, honestly, much ado about nothing. It just happened to be new technology.
Yeah.
If it had been done, let's say, 5 years after the technology had been invented, I don't think there would have been one bit of hullabaloo.
No.
I think the big problem with sorry, the government's sort of, fear of things like that is every time a new form of medium comes onto the market, and like CD games then were a brand new thing, or FMV games were a brand new thing. It was something they hadn't yet seen, they haven't yet regulated, and they feared that it would give other people a voice that they couldn't control. Fear of the unknown, basically.
There was a lot of that, yeah.
Free voice, also.
Well, in that era as well, before the regulations, especially Digital Pigeons, who made, brought out Night Trap and a few other games, it was like the Wild West. They would put out stuff, and there was no regulation really. Like with the 3DO and the CDI, with all those softcore porn games, there wasn't any sort of legislation for it. They just put it out.
When did the MRSA come in, Scott? Because was Night Trap not?
I don't know when the American legislation went in, but I don't know. But in England, I think it was 94 when it started to happen.
Wasn't Night Trap certified by the BBFC? I remember it got a 15 certificate.
Not on this copy. On this
right.
one, there's no certificate at all.
Okay.
No.
I seem to remember that happening. There was a big hullabaloo about it.
Well, there was multiple versions of the games, but actually on the disc, it's got 15.
Yes.
Ah, yeah.
It'd have to have a movie rating if it had full motion video on it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then other games that weren't full motion video, like Mortal Kombat and Doom, got classified as well.
Oh, that's interesting. So Night Trap, it was a breakthrough game, basically, in both the PEGI age rating system and, I guess, with the BBFC as well. Yeah.
Well, PEGI didn't exist.
Yeah, but the BBFC hated everything, didn't they?
I don't think PEGI didn't existed until late 90s. Hang on.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
The BBFC jumped into rate games back then. I don't think PEGI was a thing until maybe PS2.
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware. Yeah,
I did read I read on Wikipedia that I think the first game to be classified, video game to be classified by the BBFC, was something called Jack the Ripper in 1987. So that was 5-6 years previous, but still.
Not Jack the Nipper.
Like, I have to say something really quickly to Jack the Nipper, awesome game by the way. I have to say something really quickly to Giovanni. I just texted my twin brother and said, "Hey, check it out. We're talking to the guy who was in Night Trap," and he goes, "I thought Corey Haim was dead." Dude. Sorry, I've just rebutted him and said, go to IMDb right now and just learn some shit.
Oh yeah, just a quick callback. Yeah, PEGI was formed in April 9th, 2003.
Okay, cool. Right, so, Giovanni, we have a question from the floor once again, and it's GameTaff once again. He asks, so, did Night Trap actually help your career? I know it was asked if it damaged it, but as they say, even bad press is still press, right? Did it open any doors for you as an actor?
I continue to do some work out there. God, this is such a weird story. My agent, who got me I wouldn't say got me the part, but submitted me for this part, happened to have some strange habits in his life that I refused to participate in. So very quickly, my name got around the community that I didn't do certain things, and all of a sudden, all the auditions kind of dried up. And I decided to move on to, then I got involved with music and then into the fight games. So as much as I love acting, I'll be honest with you, it's too slow-paced for me. Music is really in your face right there, so is fighting. So as much as I still like live theater and stuff like that, doing acting just kind of fizzled out for me.
Do people recognize you on the street as, hey, look, it's Cousin Tony?
I've had a lot of people online find me, and they're like, "Oh my God, are you that guy?" And I'll go, "Yeah." And I've actually talked to I've met some fans. I drove up to New Jersey doing a fight show, and a fan came down. We hung out, and I talked to a guy in Washington all the time, and he's pretty cool, drummer. So I've made some friends through this. So it's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
Is there not a Night Trap convention? Night Trap Con.
That'd
If not,
be
Every night
fucking awesome.
Yes, there is.
what was that? Sorry, Giovanni.
I said every night when I'm alone in my apartment, yes, there is.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Well, is this the first international Giovanni Night Trap Con then?
Yes, we're going big time. I can't wait to do it on the next.
First panel.
Do you actually still do? Because people often get mementos or take stuff from the sets of stuff they work on just as a keepsake to remind them of it. Do you have anything from the shooting of Night Trap?
They took the teeth. We actually had custom fangs made, and they refused to let us keep them. We had some really cool rings. Everybody in the family got a ring, like a vampire ring, and I kept it for. I had it for a few years, actually, almost like 3 years. And I was going to a local college in LA, and I was taking gymnastics at the time, and I left it in one of the dressing rooms or change rooms, and by the time I realized I had left it there, I went back, it was gone. And I know it sounds so silly, but 26 years later, I still go. Every now and then, I'm just going, man, I was so bummed I lost that. It was the coolest little ring.
Have you checked eBay for it? I'm pretty sure it's
eBay.
Funny you should mention eBay. About 10 years ago, I had realized I had never actually played the game nor even seen it. So
Wow.
I found it on eBay, bought it. So I have them both on eBay here, or I bought them off of eBay. And then about a year ago, I was here in Virginia, and I was working a contract with a government office, and I was rummaging through something, and I found an original Night Trap game console box with my face on it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is me.
That's awesome.
It was in mint condition. I still have it. I put it away so it wouldn't get damaged, but it was just the craziest thing. And the guy, I'm like showing the guy, I'm going, that's my face. He's like, that is so cool. So I was fortunate enough to get 2 mementos, one by accident and one by luck on eBay.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I find it kind of funny that they wouldn't let you keep the custom fangs, because if they were molded, who else are they going to fit?
It's what the class is.
Who
It's all
knows,
about
man?
shades, man. Hello, shades.
It's pretty crazy. And I never even got to keep the sweater. If you watch the thing from beginning to end, you can see my sweater getting longer and longer and longer and longer. Just from overuse, it's pretty damn funny. Looked like a dress by the time we.
Oh, so cool.
It's funny because my memory when the game first came out was were there, obviously CD-ROM existed on the PC at the time, but that was just way out the price of, bedroom gamers and stuff. But my first memory of, seeing Night Trap come out was this whole, oh my god, we get, I think, we know now that it's QuickTime, but at the time it was just like, oh my god, we get movie games. This is unreal. This is something else. This is going to completely end the world. It was kind of like a really, really big deal. I wonder I said, I wonder why that's why, people were so adverse to it or scared of it. It was this whole new thing, which is, wait, you can do movies and games? Won't someone please worry about the children?
Well, for us kids, it was mind-blowing. Oh, sorry, mate, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, but it worked in the arcade as an arcade experience with stuff like Mad Dog McCree, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it didn't really translate that well, even onto the CD consoles, because as you say, on the Mega CD, the screen was about this big.
Yeah.
Like just sort of like Stuart Shop.
Didn't it still do it with 64 colors?
I think
so
it
while
did.
it was FMV, it was kind of
cartoony
it was FMV.
Yeah,
the best way to play it would the best versions. Well, the best ones on PC, but the less finicky version is 3DO. That's probably your best version of the game. But the thing is with these FMV games, most of them were crap. They were junk. But I think what put Night Trap over all the others, because it wasn't a massive seller, but it gained a cult following because yes, all the controversy. but then it sort of opened the eyes of people. Like I said, the adult gamers. It wasn't just the kids thing anymore. It was growing into something bigger. Because this is the precursor to what we have now. Like I was this morning playing the new Doom game, and there's blood and gore and shit flying everywhere. And if it wasn't for games like Night Trap and Mortal Kombat and all these others that come at the same time, we wouldn't have these types of games. They would.
Well, also, if you look at Night Trap compared to other FMV games at the time, what stood it out of that market of FMV games was there was a slight strategic element to it.
Yeah, it was a puzzle game. It was effectively a puzzle game.
I think that the best way what came after it, like stuff like Phantasmagoria.
Oh yeah,
Phantasmagoria, which was a bit used to sort of nightmare thing, the sort of blue screen studios with real people walking around it, wasn't it? From what I can remember. Yeah, and I think that worked a bit better than the actual when it's just like video and you're interacting with it. Mm-hmm. And stuff like, I suppose Wing Commander wasn't really like that. It just had cutscenes, didn't it?
Yeah.
From what I can remember, and then the rest of it was just.
Yeah, but it's in the same field or the same ballpark as Night Trap because it was a movie.
Well, Phantasmagoria was definitely more mature. It was more of a horror game than Night Trap. Because Night Trap, I don't know about then, but now it's very cheesy. It's very cheesy. It's enjoyable, but it's very cheesy. Well, Phantasmagoria, some of the stuff in that is fucking disgusting, even now.
Scott, you've just come up with the greatest idea for a game ever. The British version of Night Trap. Night Chap! Hello, I'm Night Chap. Welcome to my lakeside cottage. So, Giovanni, can I ask you, you said you never played the game for ages, but then you recently, or more recently, got the game from eBay. So, I presume you've played the game now. What do you actually think of it?
I literally have not. I've watched... I tried to get an emulator because I couldn't find a console anywhere. I tried finding one. I couldn't find a console. So they have a lot of emulators for gaming game consoles, and I found a couple emulators for it, but they didn't work on the computer systems. I don't know if there were any particular add-ons or whatever that I just wasn't aware of at that time. And so to be quite, no, I haven't. I've gone on YouTube, seen all the, a lot of people have uploaded all the
God,
segments.
I hope you haven't seen my video. Oh, God.
Disappointed, Giovanni.
Segments, but I have yet to play the game.
A while back,
I'm disappointed because I'd like to think that somewhere there would be a video of you doing a perfect run of Night Trap as yourself.
Make that happen.
I think I've got it on right now. I've got to get it done finally.
Giovanni knows the secret code where you can unlock Cousin Tony as a playable character.
Yeah. Oh, I'd like to think that the Konami code works in Night Trap.
That'd be funny. But yeah,
are you a gamer, Giovanni?
I'm an old school. I mean, I'm talking about back in the day with Christ, what was that? I can't even remember the name of the game. I was an actual arcade gamer. I loved going to the arcade. I loved stealing my brother's money out of his piggy bank and spending the rest of the day at the arcade. So, and honestly, I had some old systems back in the '80s. I didn't do them because I knew I would never leave my house. So that I'm a real kind of I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. So I knew if I started gaming on a regular basis, man, I would not be doing well.
That's a wise call because I'm kind of the same, and since I got into gaming, that's why I'm so pasty, and I haven't left my house in 17 years.
I love gaming. I actually went to school 6 years ago. I wanted to get into game design, but I didn't realize how boring coding was. I actually started writing music to. I submitted my. I do a lot of soundtracking for fight stuff. I submitted a lot of music to try and get into the gaming business, and I wanted to do graphic design work and character design, but it's really intertwined. It's just like anything. You got to know somebody to get in, and my stuff, and they really seemed to like it. But the guy who owned the gaming company, and honestly, his junk shop, I don't remember what it was, but they went with somebody else, and then bothered.
Well, I'll buy you a 6-pack if you write an intro for my channel.
I love stuff like that.
Well, on the subject of music, we've had another question from GameTaff, who asks, so Giovanni, you said you went into music. Did you have any success with that? I'm not talking about filling arenas, but know what I mean. And also, what's your main instrument? I'm a musician too.
I've been playing guitar for 29 years. I taught myself guitar, piano. I ended up getting a scholarship to music school for piano. Back in '94, I played in bands all around Los Angeles. I traveled Europe twice as a musician, and I'm just getting back into playing outside. I mean, I still write music for commercials, and my daughter is actually a professional singer right now. So she's 14, and so right now I'm focusing in on her career.
Oh, cool. How's she doing at the moment? Is she close to breaking through to the main industry?
Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I just talked to an agent yesterday. Somebody heard her sing somewhere else. I got a call from New York about going up to see, not that it means much of anything, but at least it's a step in the right direction. She wants to be a Broadway star. She gets asked to sing at sporting events all the time, charity events, military events. She just got accepted to a School of the Arts here in Virginia, and so that's all she wants, and she's far better than I ever was.
That's amazing. Anybody want to jump in?
Don't undersell yourself, Giovanni, because you have one thing that she did not. You were in Night Trap. It's funny that with all the retro, resurgence that's been going on for, the past 5 years or so, well, longer than that, it does make me wonder, like, on PC probably, why don't they release a Disney remastered anniversary edition of Night Trap? That would be so cool.
There's a guy out here named Ian Fedorchik, and he lives in New Jersey, and he was doing a GoFundMe campaign and really trying hard to do an HD, to get the whole thing remastered in HD. And it was starting to go places. He was in touch with Don and a lot of people who were involved in the production of it, the back end. But it kind of went stagnant, and he got a little disillusioned, so it never went anywhere. But I know there are people who definitely want to get it remastered.
Yeah, I did. I backed it myself. I want to see that HD Night Trap.
If you think about it, kind of like Dragon's Lair and stuff, the way how good, like Blu-ray and DVD players are now compared to when they first came out, you could probably, to some degree, do it, as a standalone DVD title, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I would have thought.
Absolutely, I think you're right.
Get on, the people out there in Tinterwebs land, get on that. Someone, we want a Blu-ray version of Night Trap.
I just hope that if they ever decide to go and redo kind of a redo like they do with so many movies, that I actually get to play Tony's, grandfather, or at least
or like Back to the Future 2, all the prosthetics and stuff on.
He could be Cousin Tony, and I could be Uncle Anthony.
Giovanni, if they rebooted Night Trap, which Hollywood actor would you want to play Cousin Tony?
Oh, it'd have to be
If
Chris
you say
Pine.
Bieber, we're gonna hang up. Sorry.
Oh God, no! It would have to be Chris Pine.
Yes, I like it.
Chris Pine would do it.
If Scott sends you his copy of Night Trap, will you sign it for him?
Absolutely.
No.
I had another guy send a poster to me about 6 months ago. I signed it. It was pretty cool. So yeah,
That's cool.
absolutely.
And now it's on eBay.
Along with your ring.
Man, I would love to find that someday. Maybe, you never know.
Okay, so Giovanni, we've had a question from the Gaming Pegasus 187, and this is going back to the Congress hearings, etc. And he asks, what was your thought process? What was your thought? His name's Nick, sorry? Is that his real name? Did you say?
It's Nick from Slamcast.
And hi, Nick from Slamcast. Hi. He asks, what was your thought process, Giovanni, through the entire video game violence hearings as they were happening?
You know, like I was saying before, I think some of this stuff is a much ado about nothing. If they were so concerned, why did they allow, you know, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Freddy Krueger, the Saw movies eventually in the, you know, in the distant future from that? So if that was a major concern, then, you know, why weren't they going after much larger, you know, media outlets other than niche market of gaming? And kind of like I was saying before, it really just comes down to government saying, oh, we got something new that we have to regulate, so let's go after this because it's got some press.
This will make sense in a moment. Who was the first? My president and first lady knowledge is not brilliant. Who was the first? It'll make sense in a minute. Trust me, people. Who was the first lady in 1989? Was that still the Reagan era, or was that Clinton?
In '89, it was Barbara Bush.
Oh, that's it. Yes, because didn't she have a massive pop at the TV shows at the time when this whole, you know, like, even though they were exaggerated, like Married with Children and Roseanne and The Simpsons, but it was kind of, you know, blue-collar stuff. Didn't she have a massive kind of speech about them? And the creators of The Simpsons actually wrote a letter back to her and sent it to the White House as Marge Simpson, saying, yes, my family's dysfunctional. Yes, it's this. Yes, it's that. Maybe we're not the Waltons, but I love my children and I try and do the best for them. And it kind of really, you know, shocked mainstream into, yeah, this not, you know, this new form of, you know, more, again, it was exaggerated comedy, but this, you know, new form of realistic families, not like the Cosbys, not like the Waltons. It's technically a more realistic reflection of mainstream America than, you know, all the other stuff. Does anyone else remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bush, but I do remember Tipper Gore going really hardcore against music and entertainment, and you know, she was married to Al Gore, who was obviously the vice president under Bill Clinton, and then ran against George Bush in 2000. But Barbara Bush, I mean, I don't remember her. She never really seemed to be a first lady that really put herself out there in the public. That was more Nancy Reagan.
Hello?
Went silent.
Giovanni, are you still there? Hello?
He's just been censored by the state.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that was poor timing. Unfortunately, Giovanni, we can't hear you. So,
no, we can hear you again.
Hello.
That's weird.
No.
Cut out.
And what? Just a tangent on what I was just saying. Just for me, please, out of curiosity. Is Married with Children the greatest sitcom ever made?
You know, it's so funny you should say that. I actually did.
Can anybody lip read?
I did some of the promotional commercials for Married with Children back in 1988. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I got to work with Ed O'Neill. And funny thing, if you don't know this, Ed O'Neill, who obviously played Al Bundy, he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is what I studied for 20 years.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that, and then I bought the documentary released last year about Bruce Lee, because I'm a massive Bruce Lee fan, and Ed O'Neill's on it, and you always look at him and think of, you know, Al Bundy, although, let's be honest, in Married with Children, he did have a few moments where he flailed his fists like a proper badass, but one of the greatest things ever, being a massive Married with Children fan, was when in this documentary, Ed O'Neill talks about Bruce Lee and just goes, no one in the States has seen anything like this before. He was one badass motherfucker. And I just went, I never thought I would hear those words come out of Al Bundy's mouth. Oh, pinch me, I'm in heaven.
I trained with a guy named Haywood Nishioka, was Bruce Lee's judo instructor, and I trained with him for 8 months. So that was pretty cool, too.
Oh, that's epic. Are there any snippets of this on interwebs?
What, me?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see me fighting all over the web. So if you just type, I'm the only Giovanni Lemm in the world, type me in YouTube, you can see me all over the place.
Sweet.
But nothing with Haywood Nishioka.
But anyway, that's cool that we can see, because after this, I'm just going to surf the web and say, hey, I got to watch Cousin Tony kick the shit out of people on YouTube. Awesome.
You know what? Looking back, my fight name was The Messenger. I should have gone Giovanni, Cousin Tony Lemm. That should have been my fight name. if I ever get, you know, I want to start a Masters division, you know, old man division. So if I ever start fighting again, I'll definitely put my Cousin Tony from now on, just for you guys.
In my head, then it was just like the stars of full motion video games in the 90s for Death Battle, Mad Dog McCree, Uncle Tony.
But here's the
We're gonna
thing,
get
though. If
some
you do start a
t-shirts made.
Masters League, when you film it, you need to do it
fuck
like
you,
Mega
Austin.
CD, so it should only be in 64 colours and really.
Yes. And take 5 minutes to fucking load.
Yeah. With a whirring noise in the background.
Oh, I love that noise. It feels like home.
I've got a question, Giovanni, if I may.
What's that?
I've got a question for you, if I may. Bearing in mind this was your first acting gig, as you said earlier on, what was it like to work with Dana? She's been in different strokes, like a big star in different strokes, so it must have been quite kind of exciting for you.
It was really cool because at first, going through the audition process, didn't know who I was going to be working with, and I actually didn't even know until I first got on set that I would be working with her, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we became friends, but like I said, sadly, we lost contact. She got heavily involved in some bad stuff in her life and eventually passed away from it.
Yeah. I think the cast of Different Strokes were quite jinxed. I don't think they had a lot of luck after the show finished.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like the cast of Poltergeist. Everybody's getting killed, getting dying, so they had that same curse.
But Different Strokes was an outstanding program. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it
One of
was
the
a
most
great.
quotable sitcoms ever.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, then Janet Jackson pretty much got, she was on that. So they brought in a lot of people who made some big names for themselves.
Excellent, excellent. So, Giovanni, we've had a response from Game Taff who says, "That's awesome, Giovanni. This is regarding your musical career. Quite a success then. Are you a shredder at all? Sweet picking the usual. Haha. Awesome to hear about your daughter too. You must be very proud."
I am super proud, and I actually have a couple really good guitar solos online. Again, just look me up. And I was a rhythm guitar player for most of my music career, and I taught myself on a 12-string, and a 12-string is not conducive to playing solos. So I ended up modifying my guitar. So instead of it being a 12-string, I made it an 8-string. So
nice.
I was able to, still have a bass line, have the AA, double D, and then the GBE, so I could do some solo work and a lot of really good arpeggiating work. And then I started really getting back into guitar work in the last few years and diligently getting better. And I'm working with a kid named Nick Lachey out here in Virginia, who's an amazing pick guitarist, and he's been really teaching me some interesting techniques. So yeah, I'm getting better every day in guitar. I love it.
Okay. What are your musical influences, rather, Giovanni? Instruments.
Well, I'm a huge fan of like Stone Temple Pilots, Jane's Addiction, Nine Inch Nails, Alice in Chains. Echo and the Bunnymen is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Oh,
Susie and the
cool.
Banshees, Adam and the Ants, Bauhaus, Love and Rockets, 7 is like my favorite album of all time. Very heavily influenced by 80s new wave, and obviously going back to bands like the Beatles, Elvis, Zeppelin, Cute Zeppelin fan too.
70s Van Halen?
I was never a Van Halen fan. As a matter of fact, I hated the song 1984, which made them big, but I really did like Hot for Teacher and Panama, so that redeemed them in my eyes. But funny thing is, David Lee Roth is actually a really good martial artist, and I met him one time at the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school in Los Angeles. So that's my little tie-in with Van Halen.
That's cool. This is very cool.
So, as a musician yourself, what do you think of the soundtrack to Night Trap?
It makes me want to slit my wrist, to be quite frank. It's hokey. Oh my God. I wasn't there when they did that bedroom dance scene with all the girls, and I'm so happy I wasn't, because that was bad.
Well, you say you weren't there for that scene. Did you happen to be there for the most controversial scene of all.
Which scene was that?
Okay. I've got a bit of background. So, yes, it's a scene in which a poor girl is apprehended in her bathroom by masked goons.
I think her name was Tracy. I think that was her name. And I'm sure I was there, but, you know, generally speaking, if you were not shooting a scene, they would keep you off set or in a green room or in a trailer. So unless you were actually in the scene, the only people that would be there was the cast from that scene and the crew. So, you know, you could hear a lot of stuff if you were off set, or if you spent a lot of time in your trailer, you just didn't know what was going on. So no, I was not there for that particular scene, but I vaguely remember hearing it.
Ooh, I bet that sounded nasty.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's an outtakes video or something.
That's why we need it remastered on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So we get that second disc full of goodness.
I think some of the
On your promo the other day, it showed that, you know, when the Augers were saying, all right, how do you want me to point this? I never saw any of that outtake stuff, so that's pretty cool. Where did you get it?
Quite surprised
the extra reel
Ball
was-
hasn't gone to try and make a full movie version of Night Trap. It's the sort of thing he'd do.
Who, sorry?
U-Ball.
Oh God, no!
Oh, Michael Bay.
No, but see, if we got a Michael Bay version of Night Trap, you wouldn't be able to see any of the bloody actors. It would just be lens flare.
Yeah, and you won't see the Augers until like the fucking 2.5 hour
And we
mark.
wouldn't even have actors in it. It would all be CG.
It'll be Marky Mark instead of what else?
I have a question, Giovanni, which is obviously don't tell us the amount. You know, I'm not probing like that. Not probing. That sounds terrible, but obviously you did it because it was you were using it to start a career, but you know, financially was it, you know, comfortable or?
I can't imagine.
Again, don't tell us the figure. We're not like. I'm just curious because what was it like? You know, with like.
I think Giovanni might have dropped again.
You've frozen them with your questions of money.
Oh dear, oh dear. Hold that thought. Hold that
I
thought,
think
Dave.
Giovanni dropped again.
Oh, he can't be that good. He can't get a good webcam.
That mad Night Trap money not. That mad Night Trap money's not bringing in the punters, all the bandwidth.
We'll just go to the comments at an emergency time like this. The Gaming Pegasus, aka Nick, says he's currently editing Slamcast right now. And then Retro Unlim says, nice, Slamcast got a mention.
Well, since you mentioned Slamcast, I need to mention Suck It, which is mine's and Chris's wrestling podcast, which I need to edit after this show.
Yeah, but thanks for asking me, by the way.
Yeah, and me.
Moving on. It's Chris's show, really.
Yeah, and Rich. Yeah.
Anyway, right. Scott, Rich, would you like to start a new wrestling podcast with me?
Yes. We shall call it Slam Jamcast.
We'll call it the disappointing show that was WrestleMania last week.
It's going to be
wasn't
called...
that bad.
Fucking
It was
Shane
a
McMahon versus The Undertaker.
6.5.
What the fuck?
Disappointment cast.
Did The Undertaker win again? Did The Undertaker win
No,
again?
the most entertaining thing that I saw in that fucking whole match was Shane McMahon getting spina bifida again from falling off the fucking cage. Oh, original.
Tutti UK. Tutti UK it says Bumcast.
Oh, I know what that means. I know what that means.
Nothing but bums.
Naughty stew.
I'm not going to ask. I am literally not going to ask. Ladies and gentlemen, Giovanni has stepped out for a coffee or something. So, in the meantime, we'll just take a look at what Rich is doing here. He's currently watching wrestling.
I'm currently watching
Copyright
ECW
strike.
One Night Stand from 2005, the good one.
Yeah, not the fucking second, not 2006.
Or December to Dismember. No. Yes, but the trouble is with this one, this led to the resurrection of ECW, which was fucking awful.
It was awful.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Tony Atlas just going.
Well, I think the best thing that come out of that was fucking CM Punk.
Yeah, fair enough.
Really?
You said there were zombies in there. Were there augers in there? Guys in weird ninja costumes going around with these sort of strange grabber thingy-majigs?
I wish.
That's quite surprising, but there wasn't a wrestling tie-in to Night Trap at some point.
Well, they're carnies in it. You can't trust those fellows. They got big hands.
There was a kid's army.
Right, well, while we're on this little break here, I'm going to push us in the direction of the news. We've got a couple of things to say here. First of all, we've got a shout-out for one of our family, the Retro Unlim family. And Gashead London Retro Gamer, a.k.a. Gashead, is...
Happy birthday, Gashead.
Happy birthday! He is
Happy birthday,
40,
Gashead.
he is 40 years old. His life begins now. So please
Happy
do...
birthday, Steve.
And he's a pirate. He's a pirate. Let's not forget that.
He is indeed.
Ha ha, you're old, you tit nozzle.
Dirty. And that's all there is to be said.
I'm pretty sure right now, Scott, the old people on this podcast outnumber you.
Yes.
What? I turned 32 fucking 2 weeks ago.
You young whippersnappers.
You old timer. Okay, so we've got.
Do you know what, though? I like to say this. Do you know what the greatest thing about being 40 is?
Yes.
What?
Absolutely nothing.
I was 40 in February. It was quite depressing.
Oh dear.
Oh, I've got another 5 years yet. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Although I did like the fact that I got many birthday cards when I was 40 last October where people thought it was really original to give me £40 in cash in the birthday cards, which I was like, oh yeah, I see what you did there. And I don't like being 40, but after 7 of those cards, I was like, woohoo, let's go and get loaded.
I get
See
a
this? This here is your life ticking away.
Oh,
Boogeyman, calm down.
I'll just be hypnotised.
I was just going to say, I can't wait to be 40 if I get 40 quid from everybody. Brilliant.
But let me rephrase that, shall I, Mr. Yak? When I say from everybody, the people who actually remember your birthday that gave me 40 quid, that was 5. Which, you know, I'm not knocking. That was quite tasty and delicious. But if everyone I ever met remembered my birthday and I was 40, I'd be fucking on an island somewhere in the Bahamas.
Playing games.
And then I'd be happy to be 40.
What games would you take with you?
Well, let me see. Metal Gear, Resident Evil 2, Dead Rising,
Night Trap.
Night Trap.
Oh,
Yeah.
Night Trap, of course.
Always Night Trap.
Actually, just 10 copies of Night Trap. Actually, when Giovanni comes back, let's ask him, shall we? What games would he take on the desert island? John, you could do it.
In fact, John, ask him again. I can't believe I'm telling you this again after the last time we did it. Ask him to come on Desert Island Games.
Well, I did that with Derek. How do you pronounce his surname?
Oh,
Derek.
that's nice.
And he said yes, he'll come on, and then nothing. Didn't hear anything from him.
That's in his defence. That's because he's still looking for a job.
What about Dominic Diamond?
He could get a job. Well, could get Dominic Diamond, maybe.
Do you know what you should have said though, John? Then when Scott said, "How about Dominic Diamond?" You should have done a Homer Simpson and gone, no.
No, you could have got Dominic Diamond and Dave Perry, a double header in the same show.
Oh, God,
that
that would be blood.
would kill the internet, I'm sure.
Well, I got the exclusive Electric Eddie. He's come back in Desert Island Games. It's the first time Electric Eddie appeared since games were finished.
Oh, Electric Eddie is
that'd
just
be
a complete rip-off of the 90s video game, dude.
True.
Wait a minute.
He was a 90s video game dude.
Come on, Rich, do the voice. It's been a while.
Oh, fucking hell. What's up, dudes? And dude, that's not his video game dude coming at ya.
Why do you think I was so sick of my old persona? Fuck. It's like, yeah, be console snob, be snotty. You know.
You know what? I looked, and it's been, well, I think it's about a year and a half since I last did a proper dude video. Year and a half.
It was fun.
He's been kidnapped by Don Brennan.
My first video watching yours was a 90s video game dude video, and it was because Dave gave you a shout out, long boy.
Yeah, I remember that. Actually, yeah.
I
watched it and I'm like, that is brilliant. I gotta subscribe to that. You know.
See, the thing is with those, with the Don Brennan thing, it's dead easy. I just put a mask on and I rant about crap old wrestling for a bit. But 90s video game dude, I have to put a bit of effort in. I haven't got the time.
Good. I actually understand that now, Rich, because when I do the executioner, my voice hurts like hell. That's why I don't do it.
Oh. You know what? When I was doing that first episode of WWF years, I had to re-record it because I was like, I can't do it without the mask. It's like, mysterious Don Brennan. And I just couldn't do it. So I had to sort of lube myself up, as it
One
were.
word, Lemm sip.
Lemm sip, yeah. It does work.
Mysterious Lemm Sip Brennan. That's his nickname. Right, so we have one more piece of news, and this is very exciting, ladies and gentlemen, because Playback Blackpool is upon us once more. It's coming up at the start of next month, at the beginning of May, so please do get your tickets now to avoid the enormous pay on the door queues.
Who has two thumbs and not going to play Blackpool? This guy.
And this guy, unfortunately. But I am going to.
I'd like to, but the thing is, it's at the weekends, and when you have to work one day of the weekend, it just makes it like kind of not really a possibility. And also, I remember a couple of years ago when the first year all you guys went, Chris Heaney said, "Hey Dave, why don't you go to play Blackpool? We'll all pay for petrol." And this makes me sound like a twat or a selfish twat, but it's just simply because I just don't want to drive somewhere I've never been before, even with sat-nav, because it just means I'll have to be the bloke in the car concentrating, and by the time I get there, I'll be so drained.
Yeah, I just can't afford it this year. I'm going to EMCon, which is just like a comic and film, whatever, TV convention, but it's basically 5 minutes down the road. So
you lucky bastard.
And it's £10 to get in. So.
They're doing Play Glasgow, which is great. Don't need to go to Blackpool, but unfortunately they do it the same year I'm booked up to go to Download Festival, so I can't go.
See, that may actually. I know it sounds silly, but Play Glasgow would be easier for me than Blackpool, because I could be an absolute lazy bastard and just Ryanair it.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's true. Yeah. You go to download.
And it would probably be be less than me paying petrol as well, and so trying to stay overnight if I just Ryanair it there for the day and Ryanair it back.
Yeah. Ooh, so you get to see a bit of Rammstein, are you, John?
I'm looking forward to that more than anything else. Rammstein, they're fucking awesome.
A bit of NXT as well.
Yeah, that was a bonus. Yeah, it's a total bonus. Didn't
actually
expect
a decent part of WWE is going to be there. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you what, though. All right, going back on the wrestling, the WrestleMania was fucking awful, but the NXT takeover.
It wasn't that bad.
The NXT takeover was fucking amazing.
It was
2 hours.
It was a great show.
That was 2 hours of non-stop, total non-stop action, if you will, wrestling.
Yeah, I agree, and I've not been into the NXT up until I've seen, and I just watched this and I thought this is.
It's the only reason why I keep my subscription to WWE Network, because the main product is fucking bland.
It is.
But NXT, I love it. It's addictive to watch as well, because when you watch the NXT show, it's all kill and no fill. It's just match after match after match, and most of the times these kids they're running rings around the main roster.
It's definitely stronger than the main roster. I give you that.
I look at the main roster, and these guys are posers considering the work that these other kids do. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, they promoted Sami Zayn up to the main roster, and they had an awesome match with what's his face from
Nakamura.
TNA, AJ Styles.
Oh, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I wish they used him. I'm gonna rant again. WrestleMania. What do they do with fucking that part-timer Jericho? They fucking buried him. Why? AJ Styles might be your fucking golden egg right now. Same with Samoa Joe. Get Joe out of NXT, put him in the main roster in the main event with fucking AJ, and let's see some fucking good matches. Because I don't know about you guys, TNA is what it is now, but when the era of Joe and Styles were constantly fighting week after week after week, you had 5-star matches every fucking time. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting that AJ Reigns match. There's rumours about that but the Bullet Club will interfere and give AJ the title, but I can't see that happening. Not with Golden Boy Reigns there.
I hate to say this. Roman Reigns is the Kevin Nash of 10 years ago. Kevin Nash and Roman Reigns were 20 years ago the big boss man. I hate to say
let's just
I love the big boss man, but Roman Reigns has got nothing. He's got a look, but he's got no talent. But they constantly still trying to push him over people who are talented. It's sickening.
Welcome to Slam.
Roman Reigns, unfortunately, won't be pulling his quad every 10 seconds like Kevin Nash used to.
Just as John was about to say there, this is turning into Slamcast, isn't it? It's 1 a.m.
Look, I got banned from Slamcast, if you remember. So I got banned from Slamcast the last time I was on, so it's nice to rant about wrestling for a while.
Scott, you're welcome on Suck It Anything.
Hey.
Why did you get banned from Slamcast?
I got Burham banned.
Burham banned?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, why Miss Burham?
I'm pretty sure I can get that reversed.
It was a bit like when Stone Cold got banned.
I do remember that time you came on, you fell asleep.
Yeah. And you can still hear me snoring in that podcast as well. I listened back to it a while ago, and all you hear is me fucking snoring.
I thought it was interference on Tinterwebs.
And I was snoring in the fucking podcast.
Well, while we're on the subject of promos for fellow podcasts on the Retro Unlim network, I have to say that Paul Marable of Flump Studios has recently released a video footage of his upcoming new game, Hyper Bounce Blast. And that's a big shout out to you, Mr. Paul Marable of Flump Studios. Scott, I know you have close connections with Flump Studios.
Yeah, I talk to Paul quite often. Actually, he spoke to me earlier. He's going to give me an early copy of Hyper Blast. So, yeah, looking forward to playing that, because Horizon Shift was a lot of fun, but it was ball-breakingly hard, mind you. But, yeah, looking forward to that.
I loved having Paul on Desert Island Games as well. He was a great guest, and I was a bit. I would love to have reviewed the game, because I said I would review it, but I just don't play PC games. So, I'd love to see it come out for PS4 or something like that.
He said to me in the past that that's his pie in the sky thing, but I can see it happening soon, because every game he brings out now is more mature and more refined. Like Horizon Shift it's a really odd game at face value, but once you get into it, it's strangely addictive. It's fucking brutally hard, but that's what you expect from a coin-munching, coin-up game from the 80s. It's going to test you, it's going to piss you off, but it keeps you playing more, Yeah.
So how many 20 pences did you waste on Horizon Shift then, Scott?
I didn't waste a penny on that, because it's a great game.
There's a lot of these like PC games are sort of ending up getting a PS4, Xbox One sort of conversion, because I've just done a review of. Yeah, well, I've just done a review of No Time to Explain, which is a.
That originally came out. Didn't that originally come out on the 360?
It was it's 2011. It came out on Newgrounds as a browser game. And it's only just been. It's a good game as well. It plays a bit. It's pretty much a bit like Super Meat Boy sort of thing, that sort of thing. But it's a decent game now. But it's
another thing as well. Quite a lot of. Sorry, I didn't mean.
No.
Sorry. Sorry. Rude bastard. The Japanese indie games are now starting to come over, and all right, we get a lot of those fucking Orochi things. Ugh. But a lot of shooters are now coming over the pond. Like a couple of years ago when Crimson Clover came out, Crimson Clover World Ignition. I only played it recently, but that is hands down my favorite vertical scrolling shooter I've ever played. It's fucking amazing, and you wouldn't think it would be an indie team making that. You'd think that's Cave or Treasure made that game. No, it was a small group of people that had a passion for that type of game, and they wanted to top the ones that they liked, like Dudonpachi and Batsugan, and they did it, and the game's fucking amazing. It's worth every single penny. So then I'm turning around.
Did no one see the bloke behind Mighty Number 9? Or let me rephrase that. The bloke who's not delivered Mighty Number 9 put a video up where you could see him make a level of Mario Maker.
I just saw that, yeah.
And it's just like...
It's a bit
And
disingenuous.
it was Byrne who actually said this when I saw it post, and I did think it was funny, which was, here's an idea, why don't you finish Mighty Number 9? And the only reason that rung true with me was, I was in Augers the other day, because Augers is one of the few places in the high street you can still buy Wii U games.
Yep.
And I flipped through the Augers catalogue, and they actually have in it, you can buy Mighty Number 9 for it. And it says, oh, to be confirmed. And I'm like...
I think
really?
I think the bets are off now when it comes to Mighty Number 9. It's gone too far past its expected date. And we said this a lot of times with games that have been delayed. All right, I would say Duke Nukem Forever, but that's a completely different kettle of fucking fish right there.
I might be the only person in the world who doesn't hate that game.
It's all right. It's not great. That's the sound effect. No. The frustrated noise in the back of my throat is why this is Duke Nukem Forever in a nutshell.
Is that not Arnold Schwarzenegger in a nutshell?
Problem with Duke Nukem Forever, which I will say as someone who doesn't hate the game and quite likes it, is you can tell that it was a game that was in development forever because some parts of it look really, really good and some parts of it show the age they were actually developed at.
The build that was finally released was finished in 2009. The game didn't come out till 2011. The reason for the delay in that was to polish stuff up, and also the multiplayer function, which, just to be honest, the multiplayer function was arbitrary at best.
And also, the rest of the game, while I do like it and don't hate it, I'm not saying it's brilliant, was polished up, you say. Well, the irony statement there is you can't polish a turd, can you?
Yeah.
What exactly did they polish up? Like I said, I enjoy it for what it is, just because I think that's because I'm more invested and in love with the character just because of the old school Duke Nukem games. So when I play it kind of gives me rose-tinted goggles, if that makes sense.
I want to go back and play it again, but I've got other stuff to do first, other games to play.
Yeah. Play games that are actually good. So I'll tell you what I got the other day on Charity Shop, and it's a shame I can't do a video on it because obviously I'll get struck down. Who remembers this?
Oh, yes.
2000.
Yes. I love that game.
Yep. I still got an old memory card full of my old songs.
Oh my god, I just remember back in the day. Oh my god, I can be a superstar DJ.
Here we go.
My mate still makes music on Music 2000, and every now and again I have to go around his house and put my HD PVR into his PlayStation 2 so I can record them onto MP3 for him.
Yeah.
Which is the only way I think of getting it off, to be honest.
I think I bought every single EJ game one time from like a PC Curry's.
When I try and get it off, I think of Pamela Anderson.
£5. It was like 20 discs. It was huge. But yeah, in Music 2000, most of the songs consisted of boom, 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 boom. That was it.
It's limited as linear as it was, though. It was groundbreaking at the time that it brought that functionality to such a limited format, but still gave you tools to, produce some really good stuff.
I used to use hip-hop EJ quite a bit. I remember the first one that came out, the first version, came in a massive box, and it came with a vinyl record and a plastic turntable so you could put your mouse on to record scratches. It didn't work very well, but it was a lovely little package.
I was waiting for a toilet break. What were we talking about?
Oh, well,
EJ.
thanks, attentive, John. Yeah, brilliant.
And Music 2000 and the EJ games.
Well, Colo C's PC just put something in the comments here about 7 Days to Die getting a PS4 and Xbox One release. That's cool. If it's not so much a buggy pile of shit that is on a PC right now.
If you're talking my Xbox One is running, would you like to hear my amazing saving tactics for it?
Yes.
Well, I could probably.
Someone at Christmas bought me one of those money boxes that you can't get the money out of. You have to open up with a tin can opener.
Oh yeah.
And so the reason it works is I leave it in my locker at work, and I put every shift I work, I put £5 in it in pound coins. And I've also got a voucher for my company for being a good employee, fuck knows how, for 80 quid. So by my calculations, what are we on? We're in April. I should have enough money to buy an Xbox One, and everyone at work just would buy PlayStation 4, and I don't know, what's better, I don't care. The only reason I say this is I'll buy an Xbox One when my funds come to fruition, simply because I like Xbox Online. I just think it's a better experience.
No, get neither. Get the Virtual Boy.
The way, this is my personal view, now having a PS4 for the last 6 months and owning an Xbox One, you know what my advice is? Don't bother. Unless that's the only way you can play.
You sell me your Xbox One.
It's the way the games are going.
I don't have it anymore. I fucking
online
flunk it.
exclusive.
I tell you what I did buy, and I'm going to try and do a Steve Benway video on it, but because I have a pretty decent phone right now, I did buy, it's downstairs, haven't hooked up yet, I saw Steve Benway's video, the VR headset.
Yeah, the Gear VR.
Because I just want to play that karting game.
Well, I'll be honest with you, after experimenting with the One and then the PS4, if you don't have, or you don't care about PC gaming or anything like that, that's totally fine. But coming from a PC gamer's perspective, this one, there is no fucking reason to own those consoles apart from the exclusive games. But then I'm only playing my PC I use every day. My PS4 I turned on for the first time yesterday in about 2 months. What use am I getting out of this fucking
I understand that. I mean, I'm not a PC gamer at all, so I've got to have one of them. And I love the PS4. I think it's got some really good games on it. And
who just joined the call?
It's Lope.
AJ's.
Hey.
Hey.
Let's make some crazy money.
That's a bit disappointing. I thought it would be a really cool animated intro before you come in, but no, disappointed.
Just
Log out and try again.
End off that tail off there, which is I mean, I was a PC gamer once upon a time, but I just can't be asked to buy one now and then keep it updated. So that's why I go console route. So that's why, Xbox One or PlayStation 4 would be the route I go. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love and adore my Wii U, but obviously that's on the death knell now, which
I'll be honest with you. This is coming from another thing. I'd rather buy a Wii U now, because even though I've shouted at people on this stream for talking about fucking Nintendo for 2 hours, at least they're building a games console with fun games, rather than a vacuum-formed PC where 90% of the games that are coming out for that system right now are also available on other things, like the PC. I'm looking at my games catalog on that PS4. I'm like, hang on a second, why have I got fucking Resident Evil HD when I've got it on my PC? Why have I got Metro Redux Collection on PS4 when I could get it on the PC? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
The Wii is the best.
See, I did that rant a couple of months ago, well, a couple of weeks ago, about and it comes down to one bloke at work who just won't let it go, which is, look, I like the Wii U, just stop bashing it. I know you don't like Nintendo, but can you just give me a day where you don't bash it? Because I don't like lots of things that you own, but I don't bash them. But it's when people say oh, fucking Nintendo, all you get is first-party titles. It's
but let's be
as far as
honest.
I'm concerned, that's a win because they're the best bloody titles.
When those titles are that damn good, and even though they've been remade again and again and again, if they're that damn good, people are going to buy them.
I will say this though: it is annoying that the first Zelda game on the Wii U is well, not the first, the second Zelda game, but you know what I mean. The first two Zelda games on the Wii U are ones from the GameCube generation. That's kind of annoying.
I'm a bit biased, but I think the PS4 is a better option because I've played hardware for the last 2 or 3 years, and I think it's a brilliant experience.
I really
like I said,
mine.
I'm just going with online because I've just always found. I mean, all right, granted, I can't do a complete, stalwart in one camp. And then both my twin and my older brother have a PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 now, and when I look at the online experience and the way updates work, more so on the PlayStation 3, granted, I just prefer Microsoft, because they just don't seem to take. You just put your new game in. Would you like to fuck off for 4 hours while we update? Because that's what we're gonna do.
The crazy thing is, if you look at the best-selling console, and then the console has the most amount of good exclusives. So the Wii U has the best exclusives, and it's selling the worst. Xbox is in the middle, and it's got more in the middle sort of exclusives with Sunset Overdrive and your Forzas and all that sort of stuff. And the one with the least good exclusives is the best-selling console, the PlayStation 4. Sure, you got what is it, Second Son? I think that's the best game I've played on my PlayStation 4 that's exclusive.
The best one I played was I was about to say Night Trap. No, it wasn't. It's the horror game. I forgot what it's called now.
Oh, PT.
Until Dawn. Until Dawn.
Okay, yeah. But that's not exclusive, is it?
Yeah, but
is it?
It's borderline a game. It really is.
Is it exclusive?
It's exclusive.
My brain is singing the Trapdoor theme tune and replacing all the lyrics with Night Trap lyrics.
Trapdoor, watch out below.
Night Trap.
So I take it I've missed Night Trap guy.
Giovanni, he dropped from court, but he hasn't come back yet. So I wonder if the Augers have finally got him.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's probably what's happened. But we're hoping that
this
he's
is a Slamcast inside joke, but I'm pretty sure the Connery gods got him.
Speaking back onto the comment, TNT Live has come on, and he's saying about keep seeing stuff about Star Fox Zero. Looks good. I tell you what, I don't have a Wii U, but every time I watch something about Star Fox, I want to play it. I probably a little shout out here to the completionist. He did an interview recently with Miyamoto, and they're talking about Star Fox Zero. There's a lot more footage on there. If you want to watch more about Star Fox Zero, look at that. It looks fucking amazing.
It looks so good, and what I've seen already, I'm trying to keep it fresh. So
and I'm not a Nintendo guy. I'll be honest with you. I could. Well, the only Nintendo console I have a nostalgia for is Super Nintendo, and it's mostly for just this game here. That's it. Castlevania 4. Well, the Famicom version, anyway. And that's the only. But there's only a few games on the SNES that I actually liked, and it's the only Nintendo console I have any nostalgia for. But I've owned a Wii U twice now, and I've regretted selling it every single fucking time. Must be so fine.
Do you know what, right? I have all my systems, and not just because it's soft-modded, but I have all of my systems of, like, modern-ish systems. If I had to get rid of them all and keep just one, I would keep my original Wii. I get really annoyed when people slag off and just rag on the Wii because it's it's just shovelware, and it's like
it's the same as
shovelware.
There's so much
shovelware. There's some really, really good games on it.
I got
but
my
people
Wii
just don't bother to look.
A 500 gigabyte hard drive connected to it. Got about 200 games, and I played most of the Wii games. They're fine, but what I really love about it is playing GameCube, because that's another console I sort of skipped. I skipped. Because I had an original Xbox.
Reason, Scott, so you should get a Wii U back, because you can. It's weird. You can do a very similar hack, soft mod hack, to the Wii U that you can on the Wii, which means you can actually play GameCube games on your Wii U.
Yeah, using Nintendo
scale.
Nintendo.
I'm back. I can't believe this.
Hey, Giovanni, hello.
We thought we bored you, sir.
My phone overheated twice. It's never even happened one time. So I put it in the freezer for a little while.
Hey.
Are you
Holy
sure?
crap!
Are you sure it wasn't the Augers?
I'm hoping now. I'm hoping it stays nice. I actually have it attached to the freezer right now. To keep it cool. Let's hope for some good things. So sorry.
Giovanni, now you can give tips to people out there, which is, do you find yourself and your phone overheating? Here's a little tip for you.
You tried to
put it in
awesome.
Warning, do not try this at home. Well, so welcome back, Giovanni. Welcome back to the stream. And I'm sure these guys have got many, many more questions that they've been dying to ask you in your absence. But I'm going to give the first question to Mr. Daniel Ibbotson, who has recently arrived. So, Dan, do you have a
question? I didn't prepare for this.
Come on, Dan, you're on the spot.
I could feed you one.
After he asked Giovanni his question, I have a question for Dan.
Hang on, guys.
Ooh.
If he doesn't get this right, he's off the website. He can't ask a question that's already been asked, and he has to ask something that's original.
Ooh.
In his defense, though, he wasn't here for the start.
Okay. Let me think.
You like flowers.
I got the finger on the ban button, Dan. Come on.
Who's your daddy? And who would you?
I found out who my is. You ask me. I'll give you a funny story about who my daddy is.
Please do.
Well, okay, it's actually kind of an interesting story. Have you ever heard of a guy named Ricky Shane? He was famous in Europe and the Middle East and Israel. Well, I up until I was 41, I thought this other guy was my dad. Well, then I found out in my early 40s that the guy who actually was my biological father used to be a famous musician. If you type in, look up Ricky Shane, Shyne, then that you can see the resemblance. Look at some of the old videos from.
And his phone's overheated again.
Oh no!
I had a question.
The freezer technique, it just does not work. Oh dear.
Now he's just put his phone in carbonite.
Have you ever wondered how long it would take a giraffe to throw up?
Have you? Is that your
Has
question?
anyone seen that really disturbing commercial for Skittles where the bloke is milking the giraffe and Skittles
that's
come
fucked
out?
up. Why? Why would they do that?
The first time I saw that, I was actually sick in my mouth and just went, I mean, I don't eat sweets because I don't like sweets, but I certainly won't ever eat them again because it just went, what the you're milking a giraffe? Oh, Christ.
I was sat in the front room. I was just sat on my couch just watching like a bit of crime scene investigation or whatever. And in between that was that, milking a fucking cow or Skittles. So I'm sat there like, either someone's changed the channel or I'm high as fuck right now.
Let's go out there with their commercials because the one that all my mates laughed at, but I actually looked at and just went, that's really sad and horrible. Do you remember the one where the bloke touched everything and it turned into Skittles?
Yeah, because there's an extended version of it where
and they went,
at the end
that's
he goes,
so cool. And he goes, is it really that your wife has to dress you every day and you can't touch your son?
Yeah,
you're like,
that's the extended one.
That's so dark. That is so dark. He can't hold his son to tell him the fucking Skittles.
Walks towards me. I said, don't fucking touch me. Don't fucking touch me. I'll hurt you.
Oh my god. Yeah, every time he says that, I'm like, why? That is so fucking dark. He'll touch his kid. He'll tell him.
Got better special effects than every British TV show.
Yeah. So fucked up.
How can mirrors be real if your eyes aren't real?
How is anything real? How do you know things outside exist if you can't see them?
Fucking that idiot Will Smith's son's fucking Twitter account.
Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
No. What's he been saying?
No, you look on his Twitter account, it's just full of that pretentious, nonsensical shite.
I've just gone to Reddit and looked up a thing like the weirdest questions you've ever been asked, and one of them is, hey, can I take a photo of your dad?
What? If you could, that'd be surprised. I ain't seen the cunt in like 13 years.
Well, true story.
Obviously,
everyone knows I have a fetish for Marmite, and I mean a good fetish because I love Marmite. But one of the comments I saw after my Marmite challenge video, it's been up for bloody ages.
Oh God.
Yeah, someone actually said on it, "Hey, lawn boy, if I pull your finger, does it smell of Marmite?" Hey.
Well, that's pretty obvious. I should say it does.
I didn't tell him. Don't tell him. I didn't tell him this, which was, that's the greatest T-shirt logo right there ever.
Somebody out there, go and make that T-shirt for Dave.
Oh, I find that more funny than it needed to be.
I've got a question for everyone because it's just so stupid.
Can I ask you my question first, Dan?
Yeah.
Right. This is just me and my pet peeve. No offense.
Oh, here we go.
Why haven't you done what everyone does when they buy a baseball cap, which is you don't put it on your head, you sit there on your couch for 2 hours rounding the peak off?
What? Doing this?
What?
I always round the peak off on my caps. I don't like
It's
flat.
not 1995 anymore.
Oh, what, this?
It's got to be flat now.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't got to be flat. I fear that if I sat in like Starbucks or something with a fucking flat peak cap up, someone would come over before they went for a piss and leave their coffee on the rim.
No, this is a new era. Well, this one isn't, but it's a new era hat. It's a snapback. This is a different. It's not a baseball cap.
I can't
Right,
wear
well, I'll
those.
let you off, good sir. But I'm anal like that. Every time I buy a baseball cap, I have to sit there for hours doing this.
I have always going.
Put it around your fist.
He walked off.
I was just about to ask him. Well, he must have preempted my question. I was going to ask him, why is he wearing a cap indoors? It must be so bright.
I'll be honest with you. A couple weeks ago, I had like an epiphany. I tried to buy a cap. I thought, all right, sun's coming soon. I need to buy a cap to cover this bald head, so I'm gonna get fucking sunburned. I put a couple of caps on. I had a Deadpool one. I was like, oh, that's cool. Put it on. I'm like, I look like such a cunt wearing a hat. I can't wear a hat.
I was say I just don't suit a hat, a beanie hat, a baseball
Yeah.
hat. Just none of them.
Beanie's
It's
fine.
better. I've got the curve now.
And it's a Wario hat. Yeah,
Yay!
yeah. We're safe.
Good man.
Wario.
I mean, I shouldn't really ask this because clearly I don't care because anyone watches my channel know I have so many beanies, but I'd like to think that I can wear a hat.
Talking
Although
of
this
hats
one,
and
I find
YouTubers,
this sounds really stupid, right? This Stormtrooper hat has these weird things here that I actually want to dye yellow so I can pretend I'm a Viking. But I do constantly find myself doing this, and I feel like saying when I do it because I'm worth it. Seriously, I'm like
If you
downtown.
go
I
to
find myself doing-
Valhalla, you'll go to Valhalla as a stormtrooper.
but you're too skinny to pull off the Obelix look.
You need to go
I'm not
Asterix. I've got
skinny,
Obelix. I've got the
I'm
body for
ripped.
Obelix.
That's what Obelix says.
I see my dick in 10 years. Yeah, I'm Obelix.
I'm not ripped. I just say that because it makes me like pretend I'm not actually really skinny because I am. Sorry.
Anything you
Obelix.
But
say
then,
to
in
me-
my defense, I'm 40, so I guess I should be happy with the fact that I have a metabolism quicker than the Kessel Run.
No, not
Obelix.
for me.
I'm the opposite.
Sweet.
Go on, Harriet. You kept saying Obelix.
My joke will not work now.
All right, never mind then.
I can still tell it if you want me to.
Hurry-yak,
Yes.
question.
Yes, go.
I know it's not David Yackham because you pissed all over that one. How good was that Liverpool performance?
It was pretty good, but it wasn't as good as the Wigan Athletic performance in 2011 when we came back from 2-0 at half-time to win the game 3-2 and survive that season. Subsequently, West Ham were relegated.
But it wasn't in Europe, though, was it?
Who cares about that?
How did that turn out? Ultimately, not very well because
10 years later, yeah, okay, 10 years later.
I'm asking the wrong person. 1 second. Let me rephrase that and redirect it. John, how good was that Liverpool performance?
that was fucking amazeballs. That was it. I mean, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but my God, I thought it was so.
It was like 2005 in Istanbul, which is loads of my mates just went home at half time. Just went, oh, he's fucking shit, everyone's terrible.
The only thing
And then they all said the next day, wish I stayed towards the
I know.
end. Yeah, that's called being a real fan, you knobjar.
I know. The only thing I can compare it to is Rangers were playing Shelbourne, the Irish team, years ago, 1998, and they were 3-0 up at half time, and we won 5-3. Not quite as big.
Can I just say, by the way, I'm not, I like the Premiership is my love. Well, actually, Bristol Rovers are my main love. Premiership, then, obviously Liverpool. But I'm so happy that Rangers have got back to the top flight.
Thank you, Dave. It was a travesty. It was a travesty what happened to us.
Because
Yeah.
I don't like the fact, and it happened in the Premiership. I know we're not football. I'll get off this in a minute, but it happened in the Premiership with Leeds years ago. But I don't like the fact that the club, as in the supporters and the players, are always the ones who are punished and suffer the most for the mismanagement at the top level. So, and Rangers were particularly shafted. It's not right, with what happened, like with the money and stuff, but the wrong people got punished. So I have to say, even though this sounds terrible, the only time I watch Scottish Premier League is when there's nothing else on TV football-wise. But I am so happy that they've been restored to where they should be. If that makes sense.
Thank you. Yeah, and I must admit, I was a little bit emotional the night we got promoted because it means it's a real horrible thing that happened and didn't deserve it to happen. So it's good to be back.
You get my point, though, don't
Yeah,
you?
but-
Which is the wrong people are punished.
Absolutely, the fans are amazing. We've got amazing fans. They've stuck by us all the way, and we've got Celtic on Sunday, so it should be exciting.
You've got Celtic on Sunday.
If you turn over
Yes, it's
Celtic,
Sunday, yeah.
I will piss my pants. Not like laughing. I mean, I will literally soil myself and just go, God, yes, fuck you, Celtic.
Yeah.
Because you know Celtic are shitting their pants right now, which is, oh, we've had it our way for so long now. Oh, they're back. Shit. This wasn't supposed to happen.
A guy in my work, I shouldn't say this, he'll not be watching, but a guy in my work who's a Celtic fan was talking to me today, and he said he's put £30 on a bet for Celtic to win the game. Rangers get a goal head start, so 1 goal handicap. I was like, I hope you fucking lose it, you cocky bastard.
I might have to put 20 quid on, not Celtic, Rangers myself now.
Oh, I wouldn't do
So
that.
if they win, then you can live vicariously through me.
So, I believe earlier when Dan came in, we didn't give him an agent introduction. Everybody else got one, but Dan didn't because he wasn't here at the beginning. So what would he be? Would he be Agent FMV for his video editing qualities? What do you think?
I like that.
I like
with
that.
with the 32x attachment, please.
You can have that. I'm sending that as we speak across the airwaves.
Also, Dan was going to ask a question to the whole room earlier on before he was interrupted.
Oh yes, please
What?
go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask if you was a texture. What texture would you be?
I would be
Vanilla.
a really pixelated texture from the castle walls in Super Mario 64. And why? And why? I have no idea.
My texture would be my butthole first thing in the morning. Very rough.
Seven
It's more
light.
anti-aliasing.
Thank God it ain't an hour later.
Mine's would be my sweaty balls. That's it.
Ew.
That's
Mine
a
would
one.
Disgusting.
Mine would be corduroy.
I like that. Mine would be a fine chino, I think.
It's going to be for the corduroy.
When I was at sixth form college, and you didn't have to wear like dress code for the rest of the school because even though the college was on the same site, you were afforded some luxuries, but you didn't have to piss everyone else off. So it could be you could wear whatever you want, but you're not allowed to wear jeans. So I just went, I'm gonna wear corduroy, and they were like, why? And I went, I don't know. I just like running my fingers across the lines.
That's like the early onset of a fetish right there.
I went to my music teacher, by the way.
Oh, here we go.
I'm
This
pretty
is when
sure
the
now
story gets good.
he's probably in prison for being a serial rapist and/or paedophile.
Did he bury his
I mean,
in the garden?
When he touch you, when he touch you.
I've got a
what I know
filter
is
you to play.
Scott, I had to show a man from the police on a doll where he touched me. He touched me here, and
Was
he
it-
touched me.
Was it-
here.
was
But
it
no, the
Sting?
giveaway.
Cabbage Patch Kid.
No.
Oh,
This is when you know that someone might have sinister stuff in them. He didn't, people, by the way. I'm just saying, but let's not get incriminated. But this is when you know that someone might have sinister stuff in their past, which is why are you wearing 2 ties at the same time?
what?
It's not Back to the Future 2.
Okay.
You wore
then.
2 ties at the same time. Like, what the? Even as kids, we sat there. 12-year-old me sat there at the back of the class. Just went, what the fuck is up with that? Is someone crossing the streams? I don't get it. Mr.
No,
Turnville, why
I
are you wearing 2 ties?
I just think it's a brilliant idea. It's just groundbreaking. This could be the next big fashion trend. At least he's trying to be different. Who wants to be the same as everybody else? I'm going to wear 2 ties to work tomorrow, even though I don't work because I'm a yak.
Can I say something that is a true story that might make me sound ever so slightly like a C-bomb?
Yes. What?
Our English teacher, Mrs. Beak, was pregnant, and so and I was 13 at the time, and I've always been a sarky bastard, and obviously her hormones were going wild, and people in the class weren't particularly heckling her badly. But she just stood up and just went, "My God, children, you just don't get it. Don't you understand that I'm upset?" and stormed out the class. And just before she got out the door, I did say, "Well, in our defense, we're not heavily pregnant, are we?"
Oh,
So,
dude.
Mrs. Beak, was her maiden...
And then I leaned over, true story, then I leaned over to my friend, Sean Bigger, and said, "By the way, did you bring the Mega Drive game in we were going to trade?" He went, "Yeah, right, cool, sweet." And we swapped Mega Drive games.
At primary school, I wasn't allowed to swap Mega Drive games.
Mrs. Bree's now got a grown-up son. He's going to hunt you down.
with a gun. So
But the thing
Mrs.
is, an adult, though, thinking back at her before she was pregnant and everything was ruined, I totally would have done her.
With a gun.
Well, what is your fascination with guns?
Who's your daddy?
I'm just being crude, Mr. Yak, but you want to maim people.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride around in the streets with a Giovanni Lemm pair of shades, with my 2 ties and my gun.
And say, yeehaw!
My French teacher hated all of us. I was sort of a little bit of a ringleader. Me and this girl called Rachel, and she had this. She used to label everything around the room like what it is in French, so that to try and get you to learn. And the only thing I remember in French, I even fuck up my numbers. I loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I just keep looping and looping. I never get any further.
C'est beau. C'est beau.
So
Better than I
basically,
can do.
tissues is un mouchoir. I always remember that because she always had the tissues, and I'd always have my hands
Are
up.
they masculine or are they feminine?
So I would always ask. I'd always ask for the un mouchoir. She's like, "Do you actually need it, Dan?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And then she finally give it to me, and I'm like, "Thank you." And she used to get really, really stressed. And whenever we were good, she'd give us a sweet out of her tin, and Rachel.
Oh my God, she's a paedophile.
Rachel, one day we was all really good. We was always naughty, but one day we was all really good, and she goes, "I want to get you a sweet out of my tin." But the reason we were so good is because we got a tampon and covered it in ketchup and put it in a sweet tin.
In a sweet tin. And what happened next?
Well, she just went fucking mental and blamed me. It's like, that ain't my fucking tampon, is it?
What did she say? Do you remember what she said?
No, I had to get outside the class. But outside the class, we had these big green bins with a big circle lid, and I used to put it on my head and pretend I was something out of Doctor Who, and I'd like try and throw myself back in the class. I'm like, "It's not Daniel, neat, neat, neat." Yeah, I was not a good kid at school.
What a brat you were.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I totally would have hung out with you at school. That sounds awful.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all right. It all worked out fine in the end, though, because he ended up doing that sort of thing on a national television show in front of millions of people, and that can't be half bad.
We had a teacher who taught us German in secondary school called Mrs. Gardner, and ironically, she was German. And you have no idea how much shit we gave her after the World Cup.
What, the 1966
Everything
World
was
Cup?
just like,
I football man.
yes, because I was alive then, Yakum.
I was a bit of a shit when I was a kid. I was a gobby bastard. Also, about 15, 16, I kind of took to smoking like a duck to water. So one day I thought it'd be funny when I was in a chemistry lesson to light up a cigar using a Bunsen burner. So I'm sat there at the desk, like puffing away at the cigar with a Bunsen burner.
You
And,
sir, my new god.
the teacher took exception to that, and I ended up in detention for like 2.5 weeks afterwards.
Yes, he said.
So I refused to put the cigar out.
All right.
Since this has turned into Grange Hill, but it's awesome because all stories are brilliant. We had a teacher, and I don't know why he went to teach science, because he must have realised with his surname that he's just going to get the piss ripped out of him all the time. We had a science teacher, no shit, called Mr. Bunsen.
Oh my god.
And, do you remember the Bunsen burners taps on the desk that had the 4 jets coming out? In hindsight, I'm quite lucky I didn't blow up the school and myself, but I thought it'd be really funny because smoked at school that when he left the room, because teachers, I don't know, they can't do it now because of PC and health and safety and all that shit, but teachers in my day would leave the class regularly for anywhere up to 10 minutes. I suspect they were going for a crafty fag. So I thought it'd be really, really funny to turn on all the Bunsen taps, light them, stand
my
on the table,
God.
and then dance a jig around the flames.
It looked like the Kane.
And then he came back and he caught me.
It looks like the Titantron entrance of Kane.
It was totally worth it, even though I burnt my corduroys.
See the amount of teachers that must have ended up in loony bins.
Did somebody mention Harry Kane, though?
No, Kane.
Harry
Fucking
Kane.
wrestler.
Oh, okay.
Fuck off.
Sorry, I don't watch that sport. I didn't watch that sport, I'm afraid, sir. Night chap, watch out behind you. Night chap.
Night chap again.
Yes,
Yeah,
night
you
chap.
say that.
Watch out behind you, sir. Good sir. Night chap.
See, night trap wouldn't work, or
Sounds like a
night
Harry
trap wouldn't
influence
work
speech.
because we'd be too
Yes.
incredibly polite because we're British. So evil vampires
sorry.
would show up and just try and kill someone. And just go, "I'm sorry, did I disturb you? Yes,
My
you did. I
attaches
wanted
to
to
your
bite
neck,
this
sorry."
bird on the neck. I
Sorry,
apologise. I will just bunk off to the other room. You go forth, sir."
Oh, there seem to be some strange ninja chaps walking around the house. You must stop them with my patented computer system.
And then someone would run in the room with hors d'oeuvres and trays and shit and just go, "They may be here to kill us, but we didn't welcome them. If they look incredibly hungry, we should offer them hors d'oeuvres."
Yes.
desserts, and
See a Jaffa cakes.
Oh, it turned out I was a vampire all along.
Before
I'm
you,
sorry.
hey, you shouldn't have said that, Rich. You shouldn't have said that. I'm going to say one thing to you now, and it's going to fuck you up for the rest of the night.
What's that?
I want to do a little bit.
The song's
do a little
back
bit
in
of-
your head.
I'm doing a bit of theatre here. Imagine now that Dave is dancing with Bunsen burners lighting while this song is playing.
What's that, ABBA?
Yes.
Thank you. Good night.
And when I get pulled off by the table, off the table by Mr. Bunsen, I'll say, "And I do it again, copper. See, yeah, I do it again."
See if I make my wrestling
You get the
kit,
little
again.
the voice thing that he used back in the 90s for Kane, like, I
voice
did
box.
it for me. Fuck you, Mr. Bunsen.
If I ever make my wrestling
Actually, Scott, you know, I did a horrible thing with the dancing on the tables, but he's dead now, so show some respect. He's not. I made that up. Sorry.
He could be dead. How do you know?
No, he's probably still
Because
going.
he haunts my dreams.
He probably.
Oh dear, the weird conversations
Oh,
that we have
man.
on the show. Oh, Retro Unlim Live 50, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna look for Mrs. Beak and Mr. Bunsen on Facebook.
What's that music?
Our family, they go crazy for these Jaffa cakes.
Oh, God.
Little baby on mommy, the first one that sorry. What she say, I'm crazy, need to see her shrink. Keep prescribed to a day with a nice hot drink. For the spongy bit of granny, she lose all control. I can't see it myself, cause
I like the big roll. What
Hey,
happened?
I know you saw my post a week or so ago, and there was a buzzer on the stand at work, and everyone got so sick and tired of it that they ripped it out. But trios are back.
They are.
Oh, fucking God.
Trio.
They were amazing.
I want a trio.
Yeah, but the question is, are clubs better?
If
What was the
you
club
like a lot
song?
of
There was a
Hey,
club song,
My
wasn't there?
biscuits suck my
Have
knob.
Have you tried the new trios, Dave?
No, I don't eat chocolate. I don't
Oh,
like it.
No.
I was just amazed that they were
Well,
back because it was like, you know, part of my childhood.
I just
But I
don't know.
have heard the popular consensus is that they are completely different and shit.
Oh.
It's like when they brought back Chelsea Whoppers, they were never the same.
what?
Shake my fist. Shake harder, boy.
Who remembers United Biscuits?
Yes.
Oh, I love
Yes.
United Biscuits.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Were they marginally better than City Biscuits?
Can you still buy blue ribbons?
What about
Yeah,
Soggy
yeah.
Biscuit?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Yes, blue ribbons are awesome. Stuart Ashen hates them.
Can you still buy
violently.
breakaways?
Same here.
Yes,
What about
you
Soggy
can.
Biscuit? Soggy Biscuits was always a fucking bad one to eat.
This is going to blow your
Especially
mind.
last.
This is going to blow your mind. You can get Karamak breakaways.
Oh.
You
The thing
can.
is, you can get breakaways, but they don't come in a foil wrapper anymore, so you can't rub to get the little corn, the picture of corn on your...
Do you remember when you were a kid and you bought KitKats and you would bite into it and it was like the fucked up one from the factory that still got out?
Yeah, I love that.
And it was all chocolate. And then you spent the rest of your life as a kid hoping that every KitKat you ate was just nothing but chocolate.
It was like getting a golden ticket.
It was. I got a golden ticket. It's funny, right? Because like I may not eat sweet stuff anymore. I just lost my taste for it. I'm a savory guy, but I do remember one of the greatest. This makes me sound like such a weirdo. One of the greatest treats ever when we used to go to my grand's house was she had a biscuit tin, and when you got to the bottom of the biscuit tin, and myself, my twin brother, my older brother would all sit there, you know, waiting, anticipating excitedly who she would give us this luxury to, and it would be like, well, we're out of biscuits. Who wants to eat the crumbs? And give us a teaspoon. And we would sit and eat all the biscuit crumbs. It sounds gross. It was awesome.
Who wants to play a game?
What game?
What flavour KitKat is that?
Okay. Oh, it's
Horrible
watermelon.
Japanese
Shrimp.
flavour.
Watermelon.
Shrimp.
No.
Squid.
It's not the watermelon.
Oh, I got it.
Prawn? Is it prawn?
No, I got it. The smegma of a fucking teenage Japanese boy.
Yeah. No.
It's,
The cream of some young guy.
I've got quite a few of these if you want to do it, but I've got.
I know what it is. Oh, yeah, let's do
Scott's
it.
first thing in the morning, he said it was naughty.
Is it spotted jelly cube?
It is not. Oh, do you want me to give you this one? Because I've actually got
Give
loads.
us, no, don't give it. Give us a hint.
Oh, okay.
Teriyaki.
There's.
Teriyaki would be awesome.
Well, how would you give a hint?
Octopus
It's
ball.
a vegetable.
family is it
It's a vegetable.
It's a vegetable. Sweet potato.
Oh, I'm going to give you that. It's candied sweet potato.
Oh.
Hey!
And a
Stick a fork in me, I still won't fucking eat it.
There you go. How'd you like that?
We'll put that in next year's Christmas dinner.
By the way,
dinner,
Scott,
yes.
you have the greatest laugh in the world.
There you go.
Oh man, I needed that.
Did anyone see Tootie
Oh,
UK's
it says it
video
on the thing. Sorry,
with
I
the
didn't
stuff he
realise.
got sent from Sofitaku?
Yeah, I did.
It's not that, though.
And I have to say, he mentioned in his video, but I still had to say it in a comment, which is the fact that you can send squid legs through the post at room temperature. I would not be eating those. That sounds like listeria in a bag. And also he had squid and lemon flavoured sweets. No offense, Japan, I love you because you gave me the Sega Mega Drive and PC Engine, and that's awesome, and you're
God.
wonderful at stuff like that, but you really shouldn't be allowed to make food.
Dan, is it Sweaty Chef's hat flavour? Oh, you've taken it off.
Oh, that last, yeah, sorry.
Sweaty chef's hat.
That last one, it's apple vinegar. I didn't realise.
You're not the cream of Sogan guy.
I thought it was
man.
bull crease flavour.
But there you go. This one hasn't got the name on it.
That's mango, isn't it?
Melon, mango or something?
Or
Melon?
mango.
No.
Cantaloupe.
Yeah.
Lettuce.
Yeah, I know my fruit.
Oh my god, I've got a really good one.
You know what actually happened here, don't you? Right, all their KitKat flavours were normal until that nuclear reactor disaster, and then it warped them all.
What the fuck is that?
That is Donkey
meat
Kong.
faggots?
Donkey Kong's balls flavour.
Donkey Kong.
I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see it.
Because
Click on me.
it's
I'm not clicking onto you unless you buy me dinner first, sir.
vending machine skullgirl panties flavour.
Is it not?
That hash flavour or something?
Don't say it. Don't say it. I gotta say. I'm clicking on to you. We're not engaged or anything, but just is that?
That's rock crack rock, isn't it?
I was just gonna say, is that like?
Crack flavour.
Meatballs?
Bling bling.
Kit crack.
Is that like soft yellow stone wall insulation flavour? Because look at it. It's rock.
Asbestos.
Geodude flavour.
Let me. Okay, it's a sweet ingredient.
Dead American pilot flavour from World War II.
Is it reclaimed chocolate flavour?
Reclaimed chocolate. It's not the cream soda guy.
Purple flavour.
It is black sugar KitKat.
Yeah.
Black sugar
Disgusting.
Well, that's just racist.
That just sounds like a porn movie.
flavour. From the 70s.
Burnt
Yeah.
brown sugar.
Hey,
Black
black
sugar.
sugar, I just showed up to
Tune
repair
into
your
latest
refrigerator.
VHS extravaganza, black sugar. It's all
Who
black.
remembers the amazing
all the time.
Grolsch
Oh,
adverts
yeah.
from the 90s?
Oh, KitKat. Caramel
Caramel.
flavour.
Oh, why did they put caramel KitKat?
Well, they
Caramac
put it-
doesn't need improving.
They put it with breakaway, so why not?
That's like pissing,
Right,
pissing in your own face and saying it's apple juice. Okay.
Here's your next flavour, guys.
Soy sauce.
What's that?
Exactly.
Kit Kat wedding night flavour.
Soy sauce.
Is that really?
Soy. Oh, I'd totally be down for
What
that. I
is-
don't like chocolate, but I'd totally be down for that.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
Please tell me there's Kit Kat
Oh,
wasabi.
I got it. It's Blue Nightmare.
Bubblegum.
Is it
Bubblegum.
Is it water
Bubblegum.
flavour?
Bubblegum.
Water.
Is it
water
Kit Kat
flavour?
Hiroshima flavour?
Whoever said bubble. Should we start giving points for this?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I get first point because I said
I'm winning.
bubblegum.
Okay, so the
I got
first
one
one
too,
to get
Jack.
3 right from now.
Okay.
Okay, I need to find one. Oh, I'm actually at the end of the list.
Oh. Go backwards.
Okay, I'm trying to find ones that haven't got words.
No, that's blueberry flavour.
It's bubblegum. Okay,
I said that
here's
first,
one.
so that still counts.
Here's one.
Mega
Okay,
Man.
so the first one with the most amount of points until I run out.
Peaches.
No,
Fruit salad.
no,
Apples and pears.
no. It's quite.
Tony Blair.
Yeah, there we go. No,
Carrots.
Orchard.
no. But you're on the right track.
It's Werther's original flavour.
Pears.
No.
Peaches.
It's Ito N flavour.
Vagina.
When so many people were shouting. Oh, no, so many people were shouting out stuff that I don't know. Like, you probably don't know what I was talking about when I said you were on the right track.
Summer fruits.
What about fucking horrible flavour?
That's carrots, isn't it? Carrot and apple.
Apples.
Apple and carrots, yes. And Werther's original.
Okay. You always have to ask. I don't know.
They made the clue too easy.
I need to give you a clue. It's that. How would you give that as a clue? It's an option.
Collapsing
Option.
society flavour.
Laxative flavour.
Prune.
Popular dietary choice.
Oh. The Atkins diet flavour.
The pop punk
Cranberry.
band. The pop punk band. Goldfinger are a little bit obsessed with it.
Oh, dude.
Misfit flavour. Sorry.
You said Goldfinger. That sort of like roused my curiosity there.
Thank you, Tony Hawks. Got me into that band.
I don't know.
It's veggie flavour.
That's a bit generic, isn't it?
I know.
Vegetable flavour.
Tomato.
What vegetable is it?
Carrot.
Garden
Carrots
vegetables.
and apple. Tomatoes, isn't it? The tomatoes are apple. Looks like apple. No,
They look
cherry.
like apples, don't they?
Yeah, they look like apples. No.
What the hell?
Just keep
Well,
them coming.
I
Keep
know,
them
but they've all
coming.
got words on them. Oh, okay, here's some of these I don't even know what they are myself. So I'm just going to show it to you, and you're going to
Are
get
you
it.
going to score us then?
To zoom out.
Ooh,
It's
stir
curry
fry
flavour.
flavour.
Blackberry.
Pancake flavour.
I mean, what is that? I can't even give you a clue because I don't even know. It's obviously some kind of dish I've never heard of.
Semen.
Oh, I can't think of the word. I've got it. I can't think of the veg. Fuck. It's the veg I never eat.
It's
Because I hate it,
toilet.
because it might be
Oh,
amazing, but I
it's-
just
it's,
refuse to eat it because it looks like it would bleed on you.
Beetroot.
Beetroot.
That's
No.
what I was going to say, yes. The veg that would bleed on you.
It's toilet flavour.
Like cherry compote flavour.
It's. I'm just going to say it because no one will get it because I don't even
It's
know what it is.
miscoloured egg flavour.
It's red beak soup.
Oh yes.
What the fuck is a red beak?
Yeah.
Invented by Mrs. Beak. Invented
Oh, no.
by...
I
Hang
like
on,
the
was
fact.
it-
I mean, I
no.
know Japan's crazy
it-
and everything, but I like the fact that we invented KitKat and we have
Espresso
like
coffee
full
flavours.
flavors.
It was also invented by
Cappuccino.
Jacob Van der Beek.
I need
Espresso.
the full name of this one.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I need the
I
full
like the
name
sound
of
of
this one.
that. I would try that.
KitKat Espresso. There you go. Full flavor.
Waiting for the cheap seats on that one. Michael paid that bitch.
Very
I
raised
wouldn't eat it.
racism.
I got the flavour for you, KitKat. I wouldn't eat this for shit flavour.
I feel like that might be the majority of them.
American style espresso coffee flavour.
Is it just me, right? But that cup looks so frothy. It looks like my morning piss.
Talk to the beta of one, which we can't. Okay. Good night.
Good night.
We want more.
Good night.
Good night.
Everyone saying good night.
Good night, everybody.
Oh shit, we've woken up the
Call
baby.
me. Sorry.
Meh.
It really does look like someone took a frothy slash. It really does.
If your
My
slash
is
was
on
that, you
coffee.
need to go to a doctor.
That's one after a binge of cider.
Okay. So right, let me give you a clue. Okay.
Yes, please.
So everything in the name, you can see everything there. So it takes parts of this. It
Mocha
takes parts of...
Chocolatino Espresso flavour.
KitKat espresso coffee.
It's espresso coffee flavour. It says there in English.
100 kilocalories.
I'm just
5%.
gonna say it.
Nestle.
Nescafe, go get on with it.
White
for fuck's
chocolate flavoured espresso.
Oh, I'm gonna give you that one because it's white chocolate espresso KitKat.
I would
Boom,
eat that.
motherfuckers! Boom!
I would eat that.
Yeah.
It's just got. See, that should be on all candy bars. It's just got Harry Axe expressive, approval. Harry Axe says.
That looks like Ultimate Warrior's payment flavour.
Nutmeg.
Ultimate Warrior's dressing room table flavour.
It's dark. Am I on it? It's dark chocolate and something, isn't it?
No, it's not chocolate. Anything. There's your clue.
Is it grated
Rapist
cheese?
flavour.
Flour.
Hello, Mr. Giovanni. How are you?
Maggot.
He's back, so we can stop playing this game now.
No. Let's get Giovanni in this game.
I can't even begin to tell you the crazy adventure. After I lost you again, I had to take the phone out of the freezer. I was like, this is it. So I drove all the way to the phone store and to get another phone or battery. Their entire system is down.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Okay.
To a portable charge. I have it charged to a portable charger and a secondary charger, and I have my air conditioning on my car on it. So I'm really fighting for you guys.
Oh, dude, we really that's a lot of work. We really appreciate that, man. You should have just went. These English people are mental. I give up.
I never give up. That's it.
Giovanni.
So you can see the screen because we're playing a game which is. Can you guess what flavor the Japanese KitKat is?
Okay, go put that back on. I saw it for a brief second.
I
Go
think
on,
you have
Dan.
to
Put another one up.
Is it like dirty? Is it like dirty girl underwear flavor?
No, that was 2 flavors ago.
You missed that one.
Oh,
You missed that one.
I missed that one. It looks like hazelnut. Is it hazelnut?
No, but that's a sensible guess. I like that.
Chestnut.
Oh, is it nut? To quote Austin Powers, no, it's a bit nutty.
There's no nut involved in the title of this KitKat whatsoever.
Oregano.
Oregano.
Okay.
Ginger?
I have
So
no clue.
it's something you have with your sushi, sort of.
Is it
It's naked
oh my
hooker flavor.
So what was
Lady
that?
boy flavour.
What was
No,
that,
no,
Giovanni?
no, no.
It's
a
not
dry
wasabi,
skin.
is
No,
it?
I got it.
No.
I got it. Hang on. It's the dry skin of a dead ladyboy hooker flavour.
Oh,
Is that sandy stuff? Yeah.
The sandy stuff.
Sandy stuff.
Hang on. Go back, Dan. Go back. What was the clue you gave us?
The sandy stuff is the flavour.
sandy stuff?
Well, is it
So
sand
it's sand
flavored?
then. It's Sahara.
Sand flavoured Kit Kat.
Hank Hockey in 1967 said wasabi.
It's not
I think
wasabi.
Yeah.
And it's ginger.
No,
Nutmeg.
it's not ginger.
Nutmeg.
Soy.
Okay, so I'm going to give you another clue. It's soy, but I need the full title.
Soy milk.
Soybean Kit Kat.
No, I'll tell you when you get it right.
It's KitKat biscuit flavor.
It's
I've got it.
Kit Kat.
Sorry, how long we got to fucking look at this picture until we
Yeah,
guess
come
what
on.
the fuck it is?
Come on,
I
Dan.
don't
Tell us what it is
sound like an
now.
asshole when I say
It's-
this, but looking at all these flavors, I've now come to the conclusion why we dropped the A-bomb on Japan.
And that's it. We're off the air forever. Dan,
It's toasted soy flour flavour.
Fuck, we didn't know that.
What the fuck?
No, to be fair, I said flour earlier. I get the point. I
Fucking
said
troll.
Right, okay, guys. I'm going to put one down. It's the easiest one. It's just the first one to shout out because we
Okay,
really
last
need to
one,
get some
last one.
points.
Punani flavor, saying it in advance.
Here we go.
Cheese! Oh my god!
Whoever said potato. It's potato.
That's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I don't want candy, but I really want to try that.
Who the fuck
is that
thought we were
butter?
growing Jack and
Or
potato?
sour
fucking
The only-
cat?
The only failing of this flavor, and I think you know what it is, the only failing of this flavor is it's jack and potato with cheese. It needs fucking Marmite.
Oh, so fucking
Do I
dumb.
put baked beans on my Kit Kat?
Oh my god! Please tell me there's a baked bean, jack and potato and cheese and Marmite flavored Kit Kat, because if there is, I'm gonna
Dave.
hump my own face.
Dave, you're flying too close to the sun here. You really are. Because they will fucking make one.
I'm just dropping them now, but yeah, that's the last one, guys. Well done.
Well,
And what was it? Who won?
Tiramisu. Or Oreo.
It's a
Yeah,
ramen.
that's
Some sort
caramel
of ice
macchiato.
cream, isn't it?
It says it on there already.
Japanese people are really weird.
That's ground zebu meat flavor.
No offense, Japan. The people who survived the A-bomb. Sorry.
Thank you. That was a fantastic time killer. In between the two little shows, that I don't know. We feel like we've lost a bit of time there. I don't know what happened. There was a time slip. It just disappeared into
I
nothing.
like the fact that, right, look at the flavour, yeah, but it still has the audacity in the top left-hand corner to just say, only 115 calories. Hey,
Yep.
if you're gonna get fat, you may as well get fat off something that's fucked up.
No, that's the wrapper itself. That's 115 calories. The actual Kit Kat is just a heart attack.
Brown sugar.
Dark coffee.
It's brown sugar flavour.
White
French.
chocolate.
God.
Why don't we invented Kit Kat? Why don't we have all these flavors? I don't want them. Don't get me wrong. I don't want them. But why don't we have all these flavors?
Oh, that's enough. Enough of these,
That's enough.
please.
Oh, you're fucking
No
killing
more.
me now.
Windy forest flavor.
Stop it.
That also come in Eero.
Anyway, let's go back to talking to Giovanni before he thinks
Yes.
like I'm never going to go into a podcast with the English people again because they're all weird.
But not as
I'm
weird.
running around for a new phone for this.
Yes, of course. Right. Does anybody want to kick us off again?
Oh my
Oh
god.
no, because
Well,
oh my god.
really? Oh my god. Worst cosplay ever.
I want to see a Kit Kat commercial that replicates the 1970s Coke commercial. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, but with Kit Kat.
It's the fact that those people aren't actually black, they're blacked up.
I know, they
Look, he's got white arm.
This is the most racist advert ever. And the one that you just skipped it, but the one who was one left from the right looked like a blacked up version of Bill Clinton.
Right. Thank you.
See?
Thank you for
Told you.
that little derailing. And the picture is wonderful. And we should.
And the bloke on the right is Lou Ferrigno, blacked up.
I
We should-
cannot hear this.
We should recreate this picture at Play Manchester because nobody's going to play Blackpool evidently.
No.
But yes,
I
enough of
will.
that.
Someone buys me a
Enough.
ticket and can get me back the same day on an airplane. I don't want to drive. I'm lazy,
Oh
man.
my god. Anyway, carry on. Let's get out of this.
Yes, please, Giovanni. I have a question. If
Yeah.
possible, are you able to answer?
Of course.
Thank you. Right. So, could we go back to the? Could we go back to the beginning? I don't know. It might have. I don't know. Could we go back
In
to
the
the beginning?
beginning.
So,
Can we re-establish some sense of normality to this podcast?
so Giovanni, when filming began in 1987 for Night Trap, you were cast as Cousin Tony.
Yeah.
Now, can I ask, how
One
did you
second, Mr. Yak. 1 second. I think we might need to call paramedics because I think Scott's about to have a heart attack.
Scott, what's happened?
Okay, I'm back now.
All right.
I have a question, really quickly. Giovanni, can I ask you, and you don't have to answer, but what is your actual age?
My actual age? In dog years or human years? I mean, I just turned 48. I turned 48 in January.
Right, I'm not trying to, blow you or anything, but I just was like, damn, you look good. That's all natural, right?
It's the magic of the LGBT.
Put your hands back on the wheel, man.
That's what you get when you drink blood for a living. Yes, you get eternal youth.
Oh, so you're saying that I've been going all wrong with my Pilates and low carb diet. I should basically feast on the blood of young virgins.
Or all those KitKat bars. I eat chocolate freaking every day of my life, and it's better than fruit.
Giovanni, what's your favourite chocolate bar, candy bar?
I love a Score bar. English toffee. That's the best. That's the only way to go.
The Score bar. Do we have that in the UK?
I don't think we
No,
do.
we do. I don't know. We still have it. It was it a Cadbury's or Roundtree thing from the 80s?
I don't know if they sell them here, but it's like the English toffee bars. They're just like I think they're like the Dutch or British, or the Dutch are like the Danish version of it, of the English toffee bars. They're freaking phenomenal.
The Dutch version comes with free porn. Sorry.
1970s porn, too.
Do you I have to ask though, since we're on chocolate or candy, have you ever had a Cadbury's cream egg?
Oh my! I just literally stole one from someone yesterday at an attorney's office.
Stole one? Oh, I want to hear
How
the
did you eat
story.
it? How did you eat it?
She had a big bucket. She had a bucket of them on her desk, and I saw them, and I distracted her with something else, and when she turned, I took it. So it was
What
delicious.
was that something else, sir? Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. I was trying to steal her heart, but I stole her egg instead.
I thought you put your slung out. Sorry.
The joke was on Giovanni. It was a real egg.
But, is it the same in the States that Cadbury cream eggs only come out for like 4 months up to Easter, then like the start of the year up to Easter, then disappear?
Oh yeah, they're like seasonal out here. So that's like a daily thing for you guys. They're seasonal out here.
Have you ever had? Yeah, right. Not you, Giovanni. Everyone else in this podcast is just gonna go, "Oh, Dave, shut the fuck up." Have you ever had Marmite?
Oh, come on.
God's sake.
Come on, Dave, shut the fuck up.
Someone show me a picture of Marmite. I'm looking at you.
Daniel, we don't see any more blacked out faces, please.
It's
Oh,
like a
here you
yeast spread you put on your toast. It sounds disgusting, but it's tasty and delicious. If you send me your address, I'll send you a
I'm
jar.
giggling just thinking about it.
Is it like Vegemite?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's not the same. No, it's not the same thing.
yeah,
It's
but you
far
can
superior, sir.
Flakes and other similar cereals, are the same, but they're technically the same thing.
All right. Well, I walked my question down just for you. Just for you. Giovanni, do you like a veggie? And that pains me to say this, but
Do I like what?
Vegemite. And I've killed the stream. I'm
killed
so
him.
sorry.
Tumbleweed.
God damn
so
it, Dave.
I have to say, I'm very impressed that, for our hokey little live stream, that he went all the way downtown to his phone shop.
It was pretty rad, man.
Well, that's Cousin Tony for you.
Yeah, good dude.
Hopefully, right, it's just the internet, and he's not just ploughed into the car in front of him.
Oh God, don't say that.
His last thoughts were about Mars,
God.
whatever the fuck that is.
No.
His last thoughts were,
This is going to
"Why
be.
am I ever talking to anyone from the UK again? They're all fucking mental."
This stream is going to be brought up in court.
God.
I put it to you, the Honourable Good Sir, Nightchap. Hey, I'm Nightchap, and I'm going to be presiding over this.
I will happily give testament, but I will on the condition that I have to leave the booth like Moss from the IT crowd.
So, guys, okay, let's actually. This is me saying this as well. Let's try and get it topical. Do we reckon FMV games still hold up?
Some do.
Some do, some don't. And even there's new games being made, FMV games, like Her Story, just come out last year.
Ah, yes.
That was really fucking good.
Good shout.
What's it called? Hang on, I've got it on my games list here. Not
I got it too, Scott, but in my defense, she was a filthy whore. Sorry.
No, there was a FMV fighting game come out a couple of years ago called Stay Dead, which I did a review and I didn't like it that much, but they brought out a new version of it, Stay Dead Evolution. I tell you what, though,
Are you bored, Jack? Because every time I feel that you're bored,
really
you
hard
start
to
playing the
talk when
guitar.
you play the guitar, I'm telling you now. But yeah, that's for fuck's sake. Lose Trail of Thought, there we go. Yeah, that's a really good fucking game.
I tell you what, I still think Road Avenger is my favourite FMV.
Oh, I love Road Avenger.
And I'm bloody good at it as well. Like, I played that so much.
HD remake?
Is there one?
I don't know. There should be one.
There is a HD well, not a HD remake. There's a fan-created better version of the Power Rangers Mega CD game for free online.
Yeah, there is, yeah. And basically, all that is, though, is like the first few episodes cut into a game. That's all it is.
It is. That's why it was so easy to do, I suppose. But no, I really, really like Road Avenger. The music as well. Road out on the road. Fucking loved it. It's so
Pretty
good.
kick-ass.
I remember that was my first experience with FMV, like seeing video on a console. I was blown away. My cousin got Road Avenger, like wow. I was well into that. I thought that was
okay. I just found a trailer for Stay Dead. I don't know if you better see it that well.
Yeah, I can see it.
No, I can see it.
Steam.
Well, I played this a few years ago. I bought it from like I think it was a Humble Bundle, and they re-released it on Steam last year as the Evolution Edition, and I might have to try out the new version because, well, you can tell by the video if you can see it. It's really good.
Oh, it stops for me.
And it's basically just
I've
following
seen
the prompts
these
on the
mostly
screen.
negative reviews.
That's only because people are assholes now and get FMV games.
Yeah, it's a very niche.
It is.
Yeah.
I still like the game.
Is the FMV really low resolution, like on the Sega CD?
No. It's pretty high resolution. I think it's 1080p at least.
They should do a review. They should have an option like it with that new ukulele game. There's an N64 skin for it to make it look like the old Banjo-Kazooie games. They should do the same with this.
Okay. So that was that. And this is this. And I'm totally not stalling for time. Because,
Take that and party.
I'm not ashamed to say that the technical problems have got us once again.
And I didn't mention the Connery gods.
Okay, so at times like
I have a quick question, by the way.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Right, like with Mighty Number 9, and, I feel that, crowdfunding is getting a really, really bad rap right now. Because of the failed projects and stuff like that, and people who what was the Coleco fucking nightmare?
That's a whole new fucking kettle of.
But I think it's unfortunate that it's been soured in such a way because there are real, genuine good things that have come out of crowdfunding. So, have any of you bought something from crowdfunding that has totally floated your boat?
Yep, I've bought Road Redemption was one of them, which is basically a love letter to Road Rash.
Yes.
Oh, go on.
Still not 100% there. It's still in development, but I've had, well, I spent, I think, a tenner back in that game, and I've had at least £30 worth of enjoyment out of that game. It's fun. It's not, I wouldn't say it's on the level with, say, Road Rash on the 3DO or the Saturn, but for what it is, it's a lot of fun. It's very goofy and out there, and that's why I liked it for it.
The first thing I ever backed, I'm just trying to find when it was, and I believe it was 2012, maybe 13, was a Ren and Stimpy backed thing. Where basically he's doing a new short called Cans About Labels, and if you pay £30, he'll give you a sketch out of his book. So the good thing about it was I got 30 quid, I got the sketch, but he still hasn't finished the actual animation, which is insane.
Probably never see that now.
Well, that's no, but that's another side to crowdfunding, which is there are people who genuinely extend it, and I'm not talking about Mighty Number 9 and stuff like that, who generally extend it because they want it to be, 100% perfect and brilliant and drilled down to what they offered in the initial funding process. And you do eventually get it, and then there are people who blatantly just take the piss. Cough, Mighty Number 9.
Well, look at like
they shouldn't be associated.
Star Citizen's still being funded now, and that game is sort of come out in its like compartments, but it hasn't. The whole thing isn't out yet, but people still throw money at that fucking game. And I'm not too sure how high it is. It's at least over 150 million. It's just astounding that so many people have thrown money at a game that's,
There you go.
It could be huge. It could be a giant flop.
I spent $30 on August the 16th, 2012 for the estimated delivery of February 2013. It's still not done.
You're crazy!
It's still not done.
Oh, Kung Fury, yeah.
And there you go. Just to keep it topical, I also backed this.
Oh, cool. Can we have a look at some of the other stuff that you backed? Is that okay?
Fury.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, sure. So, Cans About Labels, I still haven't got that. Mighty Number 9, I haven't got that. Kung Fury, I'm still waiting for the Blu-ray, but they did send.
Hopefully it wasn't directed at us.
I'm still waiting for my Blu-ray, but I've watched that thing so many goddamn times, I don't care.
Yeah. But I'm happy. I mean, it sounds like they're putting a lot of effort into the Blu-ray, so they can take their time with that. I'm not too upset. This Project Rain World, if you guys check out an indie game, check this shit out.
Isn't that the people who made World of Goo?
No.
Oh, I love that game. Sorry, World of Goo. I absolutely adore that game.
It looks very reminiscent of World of Goo.
It's sort of like a cinematic platformery type game.
Reminds me a bit of Meat Boy.
Yeah, it does a bit.
You are hungry.
But it's like really eerie. It's got a very Heart of Darkness feel about it. Everything's very glitchy and it's quite disturbing sounding and all that. And I'm really excited about this. And this is how you do a proper Kickstarter.
It's like the cat version of oh shit, I forgot the game now. The one where it's just black and white monochrome. You're the little boy trying to go
Limbo.
Limbo. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and the thing is, what they do every so often, they just give you an update every 2 or 3 months, and it's just so much like pictures and all different things that they're doing to change the engine, and it's exactly how a Kickstarter should be done. And I'm so excited about this. And this is one game that no one really talks about, but I'm really, really looking forward to this. And also,
I haven't seen it until now. It looks cool.
Adult Swim are now backing it, like putting the money in to help it go further, which is pretty cool.
Adult Swim.
Adult Swim, yeah.
That's brilliant. That's like some solid backing right there.
This one's quite interesting. So, Wolf the Red Hood Diaries. I backed this one.
Yeah.
So this one was supposed to be very much like it was just like ripping off the whole Alice Madness Returns sort of look and feel about it. And I was like, yeah, that looks cool. I played the game. It was pretty all good. But then after about 2 or 3 hours, I completed it, and it was just done. And it got so like kicked off at by all the fans. If you check the updates out, there's one update called Game Over. Yeah, here we go. Where it's just the developer just crying about how his company's gone under. You're not going to get any of your awards. I mean, physical awards. I only got this download.
Yeah, I never go for anything apart from the did you download most of the time.
And he was just so upset about it. He goes, I'm really, really sorry. And he said everyone really didn't like the game. What about Volume 2? I think it's quite obvious now that it will not be able to be feasible. Like, the company went down, all that sort of stuff. And the thing is, I mean, I don't see that. I mean, obviously, it's a bad thing that it happened, but I don't see that I've lost my money because I mean, obviously, I didn't get a physical reward, but
No.
you think of all those. You think if you was the man in the suit and this company come up to you with their pitch video and said, "I want to make this game," this is no different. Doing these Kickstarters, so you can actually see how games come and sometimes die.
You know what the worrying and sad
It's
thing
a
is?
gamble.
That
Ultimately, it's a
Kickstarter
gamble.
was, Indiegogo was introduced as a way to, the little man to try and self-finance projects. But from what you said, the corporate giant or the big bloke still gets to throttle it. And that's kind of like, no, it's Kickstarter. This was supposed to be like the little guy got his shot, and yet the big man still has his hands around their neck and throttles them if it doesn't appease
Sometimes
him.
I do think. I mean, it's fair enough saying that, but I do think sometimes developers think they can do more than they can actually do, and
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that.
and so much that it goes into effect when they actually have to come round to
Oh no, but my
making
point
the
was,
game.
I still do think that sometimes I agree with what you're saying, that sometimes they may bite off more than they can chew, but also like with that, there are those sad situations where they did everything right and it was out of their hands and it got cut off before they could achieve fruition, and
Yeah.
it may have actually got there.
Absolutely. No, I get that. So I've backed this one. I actually got it on the Wii U, and I was really excited about playing it. And then I realised it didn't control on. It didn't let you play it on the Wii U controller. So I've not actually played it for very.
That's a fuck up right there.
I know. All it has on the Wii U controller is the logo of the game, but you have to play it on the telly, which is a bit of a
Well,
shame.
that's fine, but still though.
Yeah, I know,
Surely you can live with that.
Oh no, of course
I
I
know
can.
what you mean. It would be nice to play it on the pad, but it's
I
it's
just
a
haven't really given
livable.
it time. Oh yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's not too
My
bad.
two favorite Kickstarters ever that I just want to say about, and I'm currently, if people saw my Facebook post from yesterday, because I'm home alone. I'm looking after my dog, who's basically J-Lo and a complete fucking prima donna, and ruining my life with her pooping and pissing schedule.
Terrible singing.
Yeah, but this was a perfect example.
Oh,
Is
blood
that showing up?
What is it?
Yeah, Solar.
I don't like
It's a
Piss
grinder, don't get me wrong, it's a great
Yeah.
game, but it's a real grinder.
Grinder.
And the other one is obviously this, which is one of my most played consoles since I got it, and a great example of Kickstarter. My
really?
ZX
You got that?
Spectrum
That's quite
Vega.
cool. Is it
Isn't
good?
It's supposed to be loaded crap, isn't it? According to Mr. Viffo.
No, it's brilliant. Because, right, it comes with this is where people, I think some people who bought it are in love with retro but don't know about what you should do with it, because it comes preloaded with 1,000 games, and it's got all the ultimate play the game games on there. So you got like Jetpack, Nightlaw, Sable Wolf and stuff like that.
All the iconic
And they're like,
ones.
well, what do we do after 1,000 games? I don't know. You flip it over and you realise they've got a mini SD card, and you just download the tape files off the fucking internet, and it does something absolutely brilliant, unlike the emulators for the Spectrum on my Wii, which is, if it's a multi-loader Spectrum game, it puts them all into the memory at once. So every time it hits a screen that says, press tape, you just hit a button and it goes boom, and the next level's there.
Can I ask, what is the point? Because I don't like, this is what I don't understand. People buying hardware to emulate games. I don't understand that. I understand people buying games to play it on original hardware.
I can understand it, because when my question was to set up the keys, because if you can play a game on the controls there, it's so much easier than doing it on an emulator.
Yeah. You want to know the real reason I bought the Vega?
Controller, can I not?
The real reason I bought the Vega, apart from the fact that I love the Spectrum and it's the system I grew up with and I adore it, was, and like John said, is you get to play it on a D-pad, and it circumvents all the loading times. It circumvents, multi-load stages and
But
stuff.
can you not do that with a
pause.
360 controller?
I don't know. I've never emulated my 360. I like it. And I
No,
like the fact
on
that it
your
looks like a mini
PC.
Spectrum.
I'm not taking you away from it, but it's the same people that have a Retron 5. It's like you buy a game to then emulate it. it's really bizarre to me. Surely you just might as well emulate it in the first place.
Well, yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying. It's just because I have limited. I guess this is the market that. Well, it's not aimed for it. It's just aimed at people who have I love the Spectrum. But this is where it fits into my window, which is the systems I have available to me to emulate don't emulate the Spectrum properly. And this is a really convenient, thing to do it with. And I can just download a ROM, stick it in it, and circumvent all the bollocks. Plug it into my telly, and I like it for that. I think it's sheer convenience for people who may not, and I'm not that person. I don't want to, big up my own intelligence because I'm not an intelligent bloke, but I'm not that person who can emulate stuff. I think, should I say this? It's the lazy man's tool.
Which is why I would love it.
The way I see it as well.
Plus, I'm not just saying this, by the way, because I love the Spectrum, but this is one of the greatest things I've ever bought, and I've just backed the new one to get the I don't know if you've seen it, but the new Spectrum Vega is a handheld one that is basically a PSP.
Yeah.
And that works for me.
Yeah, for me, it just seems very strange.
It's convenience. It's like people who have. I think it's great because it gets people back into anything that gets people into retro is good because I know people say like, oh, when people get into retro, they just want to be there and this and that and this, but I think there is a genuine bunch of people who adore their childhood and want to get back into it, but don't know how to do it. So stuff like the Vega is brilliant because it's almost like, how shall I word this? To quote, the book names, ZX Spectrum for Dummies, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a gateway drug into.
Yeah, so people who had a Spectrum back in the day and don't, and I actually own 3 actual Spectrums that work, and I simply can't be asked, and I used to before I emulated on my Wii, record them. I simply can't be asked to go through all the fuss and hassle of loading up a game.
Yeah, but let's be honest. If someone offered you a CD for a $5, literally a CDR full of all the Spectrum games, when all you got to do is put this in your PC and plug a 360 controller in, bang, you're done. It's not going to be as appealing as the thing you've bought off Kickstarter.
See, I disagree because for one simple reason, and this is probably where it does it better. And I know it sounds really stupid, but I don't know if you can see that, but the actual buttons are the rubber mat buttons from the Spectrum. And I know it sounds really, really stupid, and this is me with my massive sense of nostalgia, but I like that. It's hands-on, it's tactile, it feels what it's not, to some degree, like my Spectrum. I like that kind of physical feedback, if that makes sense. And yeah, I could play it on, I've done it on my Wii, and I could play it on my 360 or an original Xbox, but I kind of like that feedback that makes it feel like an original Spectrum, even though it's cut down.
That makes sense. For me, this whole thing.
I know that sounds like me being really nostalgic, but
no, it isn't, because I would probably do the same thing with some kind of Mega Drive if there was something similar in that sense.
There's something to be said about, emulation's great, and I'm one of those few people that actually, says, I stand by emulation. When people say like, oh, you have to do the original hardware and stuff like this and that, I'm like, well, but I don't have unlimited pockets, and also, I have an EverDrive and I have a Turbo Drive for my PC Engine, and that's great because you're playing on the original pads as well. But there is definitely something to be said about hands-on feeling on something that feels like the original hardware, and I know I'm contradicting myself because it's emulation and not necessarily the original hardware, but there's something that resembles it as opposed to. See, that's brilliant, but if I play my Spectrum games on my Wii or on Xbox, it doesn't feel like a Spectrum. And yes, that's basically an oversized control pad, but because of the rubber keys and the fact that someone made attention to detail to replicate the feeling means they knew what a Spectrum felt like, and they understand that it's important that you deal with, because with this, I'm not going to lie, it's true. I think it's brilliant, but the rubber keys, there's a certain level of frustration there when you play it because they're not as responsive as they should be, but that was the Spectrum back in the day. So you are getting
Well, yeah, I'll tell you
somewhat
what you've got there
feeling.
with those feeling pads. I can fully understand that because that's a unique thing. So if we was going to look at it from another point of view, so in my mind, there's two types. You can have the original hardware on the original thing on a nice big fat telly. That's the original way. Or you can emulate it. So there's two different things, and I don't see any problem with emulation because if people
I guess that
fucking
would be
piracy.
between the both, then, wouldn't it? Really?
Exactly. It's not some weird grey area. I can't get my head around why someone would buy a Retro
Oh my God!
5.
It's the bastard son of Thor.
Why would-
Yeah, I own a Retron 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. I got given one as well. I don't, but I don't understand why you would have a Retron 5 to put in a game that you've paid for when it's the exact same as an emulation.
Well, the thing
For
is,
saving space.
I be honest with you, I've got a Retron 5 and I use cartridges, but I also load ROMs off it. So
Is there any
Pirates.
difference if you loaded a ROM off an SD and you put in?
I don't
So
know,
you loaded,
Oh,
Hang
sorry,
on,
can I
let's
just
finish.
interject really quickly?
Pirates.
Does the Retron 5 you can actually stick an SD card in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The
I mean,
thing
is
is,
there
the
any difference?
ironic thing about it is that it's an Android-based system, but the Hyperkin's OS on there is very tight, just like an Xbox 360. So it's on an open platform, but the OS that they've created for the console is very closed. It's very ironic. No, the Retron 5 to me, I bought one on kind of out of frustration.
Scott, I demand a
and on
video when you do. Can you do a video just for me where you do a Retron 5, but actually show it from start up before you put the game in and everything, so we can see all the OS and stuff.
I am planning to do a review of it soon. I've had it now since Christmas, and one of the reasons why I bought it, and this is such a first world one, it's sickening. I got fed up trying to capture my consoles in RGB because apart from the £200 FrameMeister or this new thing I saw on Arcade Perfect, trying to capture consoles, especially older consoles, for videos and stuff, even though this is, like I said, very first world, it's fucking difficult because most of the stuff you buy is that cheap Chinese shit that breaks in 2 weeks. And I've bought a few of these fucking RGB to HDMI converters, and they're all shite. So I got to the point where I was like, well, if I want to capture these consoles that can be upscaled, and I'll be honest with you, on the Retron, it's all outputted at 720p. It looks fucking stunning.
does it look any different than emulating it on a PC and capturing footage that way?
Not really. But
How does
Yeah,
it hold up on an HD TV as
It looks
opposed to a CRT?
perfect. It looks perfect. You still got all
Does
the
it put the
filters.
scan lines in?
You can put scan lines on. You can put filters. Like I said, I bought it. Actually, I bought it on a whim. I bought it as an impulse buy. If I had more of a tighter control on my money, would I have bought one? Probably not. But I bought it. I don't regret it.
No, you know what? I'm the same. I buy consoles for the sake of having a console.
But one thing I do regret buying is a Neo Geo X. That thing's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I heard that. I was really
Jesus
disappointed because I
Christ.
saw one in cash converters and I really wanted to buy it, and then I had a myriad of people's comments from YouTube flowing through my head and just
Yeah.
went, Dave, don't. Save your money, save your money.
I think I was one of them because I bought one like 2 weeks before.
Because it emulates it badly, doesn't it?
It's not good. It's really not good.
And also with Neo Geo, the best way of playing most of them are through MAME, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can emulate it and it plays fine. But the
And
thing is, on the other
sorry,
side
no,
of
go.
this emulation argument, I'm down the line. I like collecting stuff, but for convenience, I also like emulating stuff. But when it comes to emulation holding, like a holding pan for games that will be forgotten to time, MAME is one of those because it's got thousands of arcade games that, let's be honest, probably quite a lot of those do not exist anymore. They've been scrapped, they've been cannibalized, and they've been turned into other things. So things like MAME keeping arcade games alive, obscure arcade games alive,
Yeah.
is a great thing. It's a wonderful thing. MAME, especially for me, I love going through MAME and finding something that I've never ever seen before. Like one of my favorite games is a game called Ninja Baseball Batman.
One second. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Yak, you still here?
Yes. Hello. Yes.
Can you sorry, Scott, I don't mean to cut you off, but John just raised a really good point. Can you read some comments?
Yes. Okay. Absolutely.
We'll get
yes.
back to you, Scott. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, mate, but just like.
This would be a fantastic time to go to the comments. And look, Mr. Harry
Sorry,
Yak has been
Scott.
active there. Right, let's scroll up and take a look what people have been talking about. Woodland37 says there, Shenmue is overrated as a series, if I'm honest. And then the Gabriel Sin says, it's not for everybody. That's true. But I love it.
I'll be honest with you, I liked Shenmue. I played both the games, but I could never, ever go back and play them again.
I take it people are looking on the fact that I backed Shenmue 3 when they said that.
Yes.
No, well, I'm looking forward to Shenmue 3. I'm looking forward to Shenmue 3, but I'm going to wait until it actually comes out to believe it. Because even now, even after the Kickstarter, I don't think it's going to happen. I want it to happen, though. But those two games especially, yes, they kick the door for a lot of narrative and open world game stuff, but Shenmue especially is a slow fucking game. It takes a long time to get
But
into.
see, that's what I like about it. It's just chilled. It's relaxed.
Yeah, it is chilled, yeah. But I can't play that game again. I love it. Like I said, I had fond memories playing it the first time on the Dreamcast. But I struggle to go through it again. I really struggle to go through it again.
That's the one I
just like to go to the arcade and play the old school games.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Playing Outrun.
What's quite funny with it is I backed this and I was like, I need to back it really quickly. Oh my god, I haven't got the money. Fuck it, I'll make the money. And I backed it to get that, and then it ended, and I can still get that back if I wanted. If I backed it via PayPal now. So I'm like,
yeah.
But no, I'm a big fan.
That is one thing I do like about these crowd funders in the right hands, which is it's almost like those. I hate saying this as a comparison, but you know what I mean. Which is almost like those claims direct things, which is no win, no fee, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Which is what have you got to lose?
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a video at the moment. Well, it's mostly written. I'm just working on the last two facts. I already know what they're all going to be. But I'm doing a video on the top 10 Kickstarter games that didn't meet their goal. So games that would have cut, that looks amazing. Looking at the concept video, but didn't actually hit.
And you said you weren't going to put mine in the social soccer.
I'm not putting it in. I don't like football games. I'm really sorry. But there is one. I need to find it, and I'll show it to you because I was going to back it, and I thought, well, maybe I won't. And I'll show you. Hang on, let me find it. You talk amongst yourselves.
Sensible Soccer is the only one I've ever backed because I'm a big Sensible Soccer fan, but it didn't. It fell through. But they're still making a game. It's going to be at Play Blackpool for the first time.
Oh, awesome!
I just finally got to play it, John, on the Mega Drive. And I was actually really because even though I'm a Mega Drive boy and it was my brother who had the Atari ST and the Amiga, but I was actually quite surprised at how good it is on the Mega Drive.
The Amiga version is the ultimate version, especially Sensible World of Soccer, which is the whole kind of every team in the world's in the game. It's just amazing.
Is it real names or do you have to edit it yourself?
It was real names back in the day, back in the 90s, but the re-release version for Xbox 360s, they've changed the names. Like instead of Alan McCoist, it'll be Ellie McCoist.
Is it not Ali McMoist? Which game was that?
Makes me
It's funny you say that. I played a game tonight that I recorded a gameplay of this unlisted, which was Formula 1 Simulation 2 Monaco Grand Prix. And there's a bit in the video where I prang, and it only gives you the other people's names if you prang a car. And I pranged a car, and it actually said Darren Mill. And my brain just went, Oh wait, you mean Damon Hill, but you don't actually have the license.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. This is the game I found. It looks really basic, but I quite like these sort of basic. I'm a big board gamer, so Settlers of Catan, that sort of stuff. I really like that sort of thing. And this game, it's just like, mine stuff and that sort of thing, whatever. And I was going to spend $30 on backing this game, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. Life got in the way. I completely forgot about it, and I didn't. So this is on my list. They lost by £28. $28.
Oh, that's gutter.
Fucking hell.
You're responsible for that, Dan.
Yeah,
I am responsible for this Kickstarter.
You tanked the whole project. You should be ashamed of yourself.
It isn't exactly groundbreaking or anything, but it's going to make. I've ruined a little bit of one of my upcoming
Scott
videos.
there, the voice of reason.
It's not playing the video.
Saying that, going back on the comments here, Retro Gamer Guardian 90. He made a comment here saying, I traded my Dreamcast 25 games, including Cannon Spike, Technomancer, Res, and Headhunter, a light gun, 4 controllers, 4 VMUs for
Headhunters are really because the power release didn't come out. That game didn't come out in every territory. The power release of Headhunters is quite sought after, isn't it?
He sold it for 60 quid at Game Station. Worst decision. I've got one for you. I traded at a local game store. I traded this guy for, I think I only bought one game. I think that might have been like Tekken 2 or whatever. I traded my 32X with 30 games, and let's be honest, there's only about 37 32X games out there for like £25. I nearly sold a complete collection of 32X for a fucking game. Right. Don't get me wrong, Tekken 2 is a good fucking game, but yeah, I look back at it now and I kick myself because fuck.
Yeah. I sold the
We all
majority
have those
of my.
moments, though, mate. You're not alone. We all have those
And
moments.
2 Wii U's.
I sold the majority of my.
By the way, since we talked about Headhunter, yay!
What's this?
Headhunter.
It's
Headhunter
Headhunter on the
Dreamcast.
Saturn.
Dreamcast.
Sorry, John. Yeah.
I sold the majority of my Master System and Mega Drive collection. I kept my original Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3 and shit like that, thank God. But I sold my Earthworm Jim, I sold my Gladiators, I sold Comic Zone, all these incredible games, most of which I've got back, Fantastic Disney, all this sort of stuff, to get a 3rd and 4th controller for my Dreamcast.
Oh, wow.
Just because I wanted that completionist feel.
Damn it! It's when you do this and you trade and stuff. When you regret it. It's not about the money value of it that you lose.
No, yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's about why did I do that? Because I don't care what this is worth. It was a good game, or it was part of my childhood, or there was nostalgia to it. It's never about when people. I think that's something that people miss, which is when they think about when people trade games, and we all get stuck in tight corners, and we have to trade stuff and make money. But people always go to the worst end of the rainbow and just say like, "Oh, you did it because you just wanted to make money," and it's like, no. We didn't, and we regret it, wholeheartedly. If you look at my and I'm not selling any of these now, and it's not that I had them before to lose, but my midlife crisis was I wanted to buy a Japanese Mega Drive and repiece together every game I had in my collection as a child, and I've done it. And it was I spent quite a lot of money on it, but it was never about the money. It was always about the memories.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people look at people who retro game and they put like a physical price upon their collection, and to the individual doing it, it's never about that. It's never about that.
Well, you get
which
those
is
stories
why it's worse. And you have those great moments like you did, Dan, which is you regret doing something and you can punch yourself in the face a few years later and just think, why the fuck did I do that? Because you don't do stuff for financial benefit.
Yeah, but
you
back then,
do it because you have
this
to.
is when I was a kid. It wasn't recently. I did that, and I'm thinking about it now, thinking, yeah, I like the 32X now, but man, I would love to play Knuckles Chaotix, but I don't want to spend 400 fucking quid. And I had that back when I was a kid. I bought it for like a $5 when 32X went down.
Yeah, I picked that game up.
Isn't that the worst moment, though, ever? When you walk by a store, like a gaming store, like a proper retro gaming store, and you see something that you let go at the time that you didn't think anything adverse about, and then you see it because you want to play it, and you're like, holy fuck, £45. I'm an idiot. And not because... Yeah, not because you're like, oh, I could have had a game that was £45. You look at it as, if I ever want to get that back, now I have to pay £45.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's upsetting for me as well.
Dave,
go on.
I was going to say, Dave, you could buy it back with your 40th birthday money.
I already did, mate, technically.
About 4 years ago, before I even did pawn shop diving pretty much every other week.
I'm glad you finished that statement, by the way, Scott. When I did porn.
I saw in a glass case in one of the local pawn shops a copy of Radiant Silvergun for the Saturn for £65. I wish I bought it that day, because if I knew what it was now, I would have snapped that fucker up. Because now trying to get that online is over £100. And alright, it's a great game. And it's not the best shooter on the Saturn, but it's way up there. And I'm not in it for the financial gain, because most of the time I'm the one spending myself in a hole and selling the games off cheap when I'm bored with them, so I'm not making any fucking profit. But I think when you think about it as a money game, if you come into this hobby thinking, oh, I'm going to make money, then you are already not part of...
Exactly.
The hobby. You've got the wrong end of the stick.
Seriously, though, who actually does come into the hobby and think, oh, I'm going to make a load of money off this?
You get those.
I think
you got a news post
it
recently.
as an investment.
Yeah, you got there was a news post recently on Yahoo of all fucking places, where you had this one bloke, guy, kid, whatever. He had 3,000 games, and he was trying to sell them off for like $150,000. Yeah, 3,000 games, $150,000 he had listed on eBay. Now, I went through the listing, and he had a lot of stuff listed. And he had like a full N64 set, which you could probably get without even thinking of, blah, blah, blah. The NES games and the Mega Drive games. But for like the NES games, and like I said, he's asking for $150,000. Quite a lot of the ones that would have the monetary value were not there. There was no Little Samson. There was no stadium events. There was no there was no NWC kart. None of that stuff.
In its defense, Scott, though, no one's going to get stadium events.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're trying to price because 3,000 games at $150,000 is about $40 each. Now, do you think Madden 97 is going to be $40 fucking dollars? No. I think some people inflate their prices, and then you always get the rich asshole who buys it, and then all of a sudden, when you try to buy a bargain on fucking eBay, you can't because some dickhead sold a game before you 2 weeks ago at this certain price, so the rest of the prices are inflated.
So, did he actually sell his collection in the end, and how much for? You don't know?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think listed maybe.
By the way, Yak, when I see that picture that says friendly place, I'm going to go downtown and take a picture of a signpost that you have to use in the next stream.
Okay.
I shit you not, there is a road by me called Pudding Pie Lane.
Yes, we will certainly use it. We'll use it as the thumbnail for a Retro Unlim Live 51. If you go out and take that, email it to me.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's actually the road my doctor is on, so the next time I'm really sick, I'll pause.
Georgie Porgy, Pudding Pie Lane.
Here's one for you.
Although, having said that, I might not pause too long, because if I'm on my way to my doctor's, I don't want to pause too long because I might die.
Dave, I'm being asked to ask you about Yogurt Boy.
Yogurt Boy? Oh
Yogurt
my god!
Boy.
Who said that?
Steve Richards.
Oh, Scott, you must
Boy.
remember Yogurt Boy, because
Yeah,
I
I
had
do.
you in tears.
Yogurt Boy, what is the secret of your power?
All I will say is this. North Korea, you're terrible. You have horrible abuse of human rights. But I would like to thank you for Yogurt Boy.
Yogurt boy, Jesus Christ.
And he can shoot down the
Yogurt
egg
Boy's
from 100
only got
yards.
one nuclear weapon, but Yogurt Boy uses it well.
With mind bullets.
Fucking Yogurt boy, that's bright, yeah.
Not with
that's
mind bullets,
funniest
he
thing
just
I've heard.
makes
With real bullets.
his population power. Or hell Yogurt Boy, because if you don't hell me, I'll shoot you with an
Yeah.
AK, bitches.
£13.40 for Headhunt on the Dreamcast. I think I'll partake that.
Are you actually buying games live on the Retro Unlim live stream, Scott?
I loved Headhunter when I had my Dreamcast the first time. I don't have it now, surprisingly, because normally when you look for Dreamcast shit, that's normally the first game you see in a
I'll
stack.
trade you, Scott, if you want. I'll trade you.
Yeah.
We've got some comments. Retro Gamer Guardian says Headhunter's soundtrack is a masterpiece.
Yes,
The game-
agreed.
The Gabriel Sensei has never played Headhunter before. I'll have
Play
to
it,
track it.
play it. You can get it super. It's weird because on the Dreamcast, understandably, it's really expensive. But on the PlayStation 2, you can pick it up, and cash converters are about £1.50, which is the lesser version of them. But it's still, Headhunter, and it's a very, very good game. And as the other guy said, the music is absolutely fucking tip top.
Tip top piping hot jelly tots or something. I don't know. Dan, what have you been up to, mate?
What have I been up to?
Yes, recently on YouTube, etc. And
Not
in the
crazy
wide
amount of
world.
editing. I've been editing videos for Guru Larry.
Ah, right. Oh, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be something that I'm regularly doing, apparently. I know that the original plan is that I'm going to be doing about 2 videos for him a month, and I'm going to be doing 4 videos for myself a month. So it's a lot of editing.
Okay.
If I pay you, will you do mine? Because I get sick and tired of having to cut out all the cutscenes and not get screwed for copyright.
I don't know if I can do much more, mate. I'm struggling as it is.
I'm
I'm
taking the
always
piss.
working on about 4 or 5 videos.
I asked you a while back, could you do an intro for me, and I felt like such a scumbag for it. 'Cause
Oh yeah, you
working-
did. I will do one for you, man. One
Yeah.
day. You've got to remind me lots because I will keep forgetting.
no, mate, it's cool.
I will do one. for you. I'm more than
Dan,
happy
I
to.
was taking the piss. I don't mean to pile pressure on you.
That's cool. So as an example, just like here is the back end of Slopes game room. As you can see, look, I've just got all these videos that are unlisted that I'm just always working on different things all the time, just so I can sit there at my lunch and I go, okay, that needs changing or that needs changing, So basically,
I have a question for you, Dan.
go on.
How many videos do you currently have unlisted? There's a reason behind this.
I don't know, mate. How would I find that out? Other than counting them.
Well, unfortunately, you'd have to count them.
Guess, just approximately.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, he's literally going to sit there and count them all, isn't he?
I'm not. 5, 6, 7. There's me in a tree. 8.
What
I
are you
tell you
doing
what,
with
right,
the tree?
take 5 of them and then we'll come up with like a formula that you can calculate the rest.
Well, basically, I also have this whole.
Videos times month times boredom. There you go. There's your formula.
I've got loads of ones that I've put up in an unlisted list for Patreons, but that's it. But they're just like bits I cut out of other videos. So there's a crazy amount of unlisted stuff. Maybe.
And I get to see
30
them.
videos.
I'm one of your patrons.
You do. You see them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is insane. Look at this. So I made this 8 months ago, and I think this was a second upload. The video is number 31 in my Disney videos, and I'm only at number 17. So that video is probably still there.
How do you-
I made that about 3 years in advance.
How do you make sorry, I'm terrible at tech.
Here we
Weird
go.
and ironic because I worked in IT for 15 years, but
Yeah,
how
where's
do
your
you
capture
put
card,
yourself on the
Dave?
screen?
What do you want to see?
Where you gotta film the screen?
Well, no, I was going to show you my unlisted videos because it's not like sorry, it's not a pissing contest, but I probably have
That's
about 130 unlisted videos,
Why?
and it's not because well, I can't even say this right now. It's not because I'm obsessive compulsive, but it really does sound like I am. But it's when I come home from work or I can't sleep or I'm ill or whatever, and I'm housebound, I just make gameplay videos. And
Yeah.
I don't doubt that some of them will never be ever released, but I have that many unlisted videos at any one time. And the worst thing is, I come home sometimes and I make a new video and I make it live straight away, and I never return to my unlisted videos. Oh my god, I am OCD, aren't I? Fuck.
Well,
Dave, why don't you bring out a rarities DVD?
I was in early production for my Resident Evil 0 review. Then I saw you released your Need for Speed The Run on the Wii, and I was like, all right, I've had that ready to go for a couple of weeks. I'm going to finish that off and post it. So yeah, you releasing that video of Need for Speed The Run made me finally finish my one.
I enjoyed that review, Scott, by the way. I played it a lot.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
Yeah,
I
it
did
is.
too.
Yeah, I don't have many unlisted videos.
But you know what I'm saying, which is, I think it's almost, it's not so much that you're making content for the sense of making content. It's just, I enjoy playing. If I'm going to play a game, why not plop the camera there? And
Yeah, it's content.
Well, now I
let
have
people-
two channels in
yeah,
that sense.
let people
so-
hear me.
Yeah,
What's your other-
go on.
I was going to ask what your other channel was.
Extra Slope. Someone messaged me on Twitter and said you should have called it Slopey Seconds.
Yes.
Oh! Holy shit.
Indeed. Welcome back. Oh dear.
Oh my god. This has been a nightmare, dude. You guys have been so patient, so I apologize.
You should have waited till this
No,
struggle.
don't apologize, mate. Like, it's all good.
It's
No.
cool. We just sit here in silence until you return.
Yeah. We hibernate. We're like droids. We just go, boo.
As long as you guys as long as you haven't been weeping, that's all I care.
No, Giovanni. Quite
Scott was for a little bit,
Yeah, a little
but
bit.
we told him that it's all right. Father Christmas is real.
Right.
So before we lose you again, talk to us about
know.
games. What sort of what game? Has this question already been asked? What games of now do you play? Do you still play
Oh,
games?
god damn it, you're sacked, Dan.
No, I got a addictive personality too. So if I used to play at arcades. So if there's an arcade local, I'll definitely go. But having a gaming system at home, that just is nothing but trouble for me.
Well, what was your favorite arcade game?
Gosh, there was.
You're allowed to pick 3: Double Dragon, New Zealand Story, or Bomb Jack.
My God, those are the 3. It's incredible. How did you know those were the exact 3?
For me, it'd be Double Dragon all 3 times.
Because
No,
they
they
were
were-
the greatest games ever.
Oh no, I'm a total goober when it comes to. I'm talking original games. I mean, don't hate me for this, but I love like Miss Pac-Man and Galaga and shit like that. Mortal Kombat. I was really good at the fighting games.
The other controversial
Outrun?
game.
Yes.
I was really good at Mortal Kombat, and there was what was the other kind of like Mortal Kombat? There's a couple others that are in that vein.
Killer Instinct.
Street Fighter.
Fighter, that's it. I love those. Those are really cool. That's kind of why I got into mixed martial arts. Stuff like that.
Right. Yes, of course. Can you tell us a little bit about your martial arts career, perhaps?
Yeah.
You were going to say your market career, weren't you?
Your marketing career.
How many houses did you sell,
You're a brown
Giovanni?
belt in marketing.
Yes.
The Quadros, they call him the fight professor. Anyway, he's in Hollywood at the Hollywood YMCA. I used to live off of Hollywood Boulevard. I happened to go to one of his classes one day, started taking me to fight shows, and I was near San Diego, and I was watching these 2 guys fight, and I said, I can do this, and 3 weeks later I started fighting. I ended up with I had 42 amateur fights. I fought all around the country, and then I started my own martial arts school, and then I started my own martial arts events here in the
Plug your
States.
school. Plug your school right now.
Oh, well, Mama's Boys, Modern American Mixed Martial Arts.
Nice.
Is it-
By the way, sir, are you on Facebook?
Oh, yeah, Giovanni Lemm. Like I said, if you just type in Giovanni Lemm, I'm the only one on the whole planet. So if you find me there,
Your martial arts class is called Mummy's Boys.
Mama's Boys.
Mama's Boys.
Mama's.
That's
By the way, Dan, enjoying that link in your peak, by the way. Sorry.
Sorry, what was that, Giovanni?
I was saying, it's just an acronym for Modern American Mixed Martial Arts. It spells Mama. So we were the Mama.
Oh,
We were the Mama.
what are the mixed martial arts that you train?
I prefer Muay Thai, but I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, judo, Hapkido, Wing Chun, JKD. But out of everything, I prefer Muay Thai the best.
I did a bit of Wing Chun.
Oh yeah, you got some great fighters over there. You know, so there's some really good fighters. I mean, probably way better fighters in Europe than the States in regard to Muay Thai.
Well, we do have a few fighters that promote fucking mobile games, but they normally suck.
Did you hear, Giovanni? Did you hear the sad news? In Ireland on Sunday.
Yeah, Jawa. He was fighting one of Conor McGregor's guys, got TKO'd, and then eventually died. Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh no.
Yeah, very sad. Very sad.
Well, hopefully that's not gonna, you know. I mean, there's well over 300 people a year who die in boxing, so. And you know, they try to way over-regulate that, so I have a feeling they're going to really come down hard on.
Well, that was the point I was going to make was, you know, it's terrible. You know, don't get me wrong, it's a horrible shame, and my thoughts and you know go out to his family, but I just worry that the PC and health and safety police are just going to come along and destroy something else for people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they always come out saying they're there to help and regulate and stuff. If you really wanted to regulate, you ban it. It's a dangerous sport. I mean, the bottom line is, but they put their hands into it, their claws into it, and then they over-regulate it under the guise of safety. But it's all bullcrap, if you ask me.
Okay. Well, yeah, they regulate it, but at the same time, they don't want it to go away because they make money from it, so they're being hypocrites.
Oh my God, they're the worst hypocrites. That's why I'm a total.
It's like in this country, which is this is not a random tangent, but I'm just saying this, which is you know, like you know, like caring for your pets, caring for animals and stuff like this, and they're like, you know, and you can get fined. And everyone goes like, oh, you're a bad pet owner, you're a bad pet owner. But they allow crufts and they allow horse racing.
Sure.
Why? Because there's so much money involved, so they won't actually cut it off. They'll just stick their hands in and ruin it.
No, you're right. You know, it's easy to tug at the heartstrings of people, but they only tug hard enough to where they'll get mad at certain people, but not the entire industry itself, because otherwise, you're right, they'd lose ridiculous amounts of money in tax revenues.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we had, was it 2 weeks ago? Was it Chris Eubank Jr., the boxer?
Oh yeah, the guy with it. Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, he put into and his dad, who was a professional boxer back in the day, was the guy who called the fight off when he realized that, you know, it wasn't going, like, basically this guy was getting absolutely hammered, and he called the fight off, and this guy fortunately came out of the coma. But yeah, it's all contradiction in terms, which is they say, oh, we should do this, we should do that, but ultimately they don't want you to do that because, like you said, it's money, it's tax, it's.
Well, I have a lot of friends who are referees here in the States, and they always say, oh, as a referee, I care for the safety of the fighter. Then I say, well, you're actually facilitating the lack of safety of the fighter, just the mere fact that you're part of the sport. If you really want safety of the fighters, you should work hard to ban the sport. I mean, it's so absurd to think, well, like you know, you can only handle this many punches. It just takes one punch to cause brain damage or death. So it's utter hypocrisy. But, you know, I'm honest in it. I say, look, I'm a purist, actually. I prefer if two guys, generally speaking, want to go in and do damage to themselves at the behest of other people and bring joy and entertainment, I think you should be allowed to.
Yeah. Well, that's the other side of the argument, isn't it? Which is, you know, when the PC and health and safety police get involved, they seem to forget that no one put a gun to your head. No one said you had to do this. These people enter into this sport because their passion and their love for it and the fact that they want to compete. So to say you can't do this anymore because of this and that and this and that, like, well, they chose this, you know, profession. It's.
Yet at the same time, the same government who's telling you to be safe, but yet you're not putting a gun to your head, are the same people who will put a gun to your head if you choose not to fight a war that they decided to start. It's such a strange dichotomy.
Are these the same sorts of people that Are these the same sorts of people that put Night Trap in front of Congress? The supposedly sexual deviant game that's rotting the minds of all our children and has turned us all into rapists, basically. I'm sorry, Night Trap did that to us all. Apparently. Allegedly.
Imagine what would happen
We're
if the
very
game
sorry,
came
Giovanni,
out.
but you do understand that in 1992, because of your video game, there was an absolute growth in birth rate.
I could have
was
been successful
unmatched
right now.
anywhere in the Western world.
I could have been
Like, oh my God, it's Night Trap! I must propagate and have babies.
My ex-wife accuses, and my girlfriend is sitting right next to me. They both blame me for the entire problem in the United States and around the world.
Yeah, I could have been. No.
For
If
all
it
of
wasn't
us
for
on
you,
Retro Unlim,
Giovanni,
say
I
hello
could have
to
been
your girlfriend.
successful. I could have been an upstanding member of society, but because I played your filth when I was a child, this is what it's turned me into now. Fuck off.
This is why Scott went to prison 4 times.
I apologize.
Nope.
Bullshit.
No need to apologise, because I enjoy Scott's channel. And I enjoyed your performance in Night Trap as Cousin Tony.
Never go to prison again, we'll miss you.
But we have a few more questions regarding Cousin Tony, if that's quite all right.
Yeah,
Mr. Giovanni. So, what were your initial thoughts of the character, Cousin Tony?
You know, I thought it was pretty cool, and like I was saying before, I tried to be a method actor type, kind of in the vein of a Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and try to make it as dark and eerie as possible. It's very difficult, obviously, with the wardrobe, the white, bright yellow freaking sweater. It's hard to be gruesome.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can't be menacing wearing yellow.
So whose idea was the shades?
I think it was mine, and like with Andras with the toothbrush that he carried everywhere, that was totally his idea. He walked into the audition with the toothbrush.
Fucking toothbrush. I never got why, and now I know.
Yeah, and I like to wear sunglasses pretty much every night. Hypersensitive to sun, so I wear sunglasses constantly. So.
Well, like I said, I did a video a long time ago of a movie cut of Night Trap, and it was sort of like a riff track, sort of like goofy riff on it. And I hate to say this, Giovanni, but you got pretty flamed by the glasses and stuff like that. It's all
Scott, weren't you saying something like, "Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down"?
The Rick Astley video. Yeah.
The Rick Astley look.
Yeah, totally. But you can't please everybody, and then so you just do what you do, and then some will like it, some will won't. But as they say, it's better to have everybody love you or hate you than to not care, right?
Well, like I said, I did that video and it was for fun.
I want to see it. Definitely send it to me. That would be pretty cool. I want to see that.
Well, Giovanni, sometimes I have to say it really quickly. Sometimes, thanks to Night Trap and the video sequences, I check the mirrors in my bathroom to make sure that they don't open and I can't disappear.
Ah, well, so I put a good sense of fear inside of you. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's educational and it's a
exactly.
PSA.
In fact, this video should be shown at schools.
Absolutely. I'm definitely. I say we bandy together and get it into every school in the world. Actually, not just the state.
Yes. We've got to educate these children on the dangers of the Augers. No, actually,
we could send it to India and they'll just go, "What's this? I don't have anything to put it into." Sorry, bad joke.
Showed my well, she was about 11 at the time, but I showed my youngest daughter the thing. She thought it was cool. I was in it, but she thought it was totally, goofy. So it's a fine legacy I've left behind for my children.
Well, I guess it's supposed to be goofy. That was the whole idea. And certain people in Congress.
Yeah, but it's still a legacy, though, isn't it, Giovanni? Because think about how many people go for life and do, nothing, and people say, "Oh, this is goofy. I don't like this," but they've done absolutely nothing. So, I think it's absolutely fantastic and great, and I don't think it's goofy. I think it's brilliant.
Night Trap.
You could say
Night Trap has a snowball effect where even now people are discovering it. It's a lot like, in the same essence, Night Trap is a lot like The Room. Yes, it's questionable, the acting and the storyline and blah, 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 but people fall in love with it.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's that cult following that will never go away fully. It's
There's
just, it will never die.
No, I agree. There's a fan, I can't remember what state he's in, but his friend requested me last year. He ended up getting a tattoo of the entire cast on his arm, and
my God, that's brilliant.
That's cool.
He has a big tattoo of me from the eyes up on his shoulder. It's really pretty cool.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that it caught a lot of people's imagination at a time. All right, the controversy helped the profile of the game itself, but it's an iconic game that will stand the test of time. People will be talking about it. And
it forwarding game, like you said, Scott, earlier on, with like adult gaming and stuff like that. It definitely had a hand in like moving forward adult gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have an inception point for everything, and I always, people look me up like because of my fighting, but then they're like, "Oh my God, you're in a game called Night Trap." I said, "Yeah, that's pretty cool," and then people ask questions. So yeah, it's definitely something that, as you say, stood the test of time. And though it was a brief moment in my life, like 27 years ago. Oh no, 29 years ago. Oh my God, that's crazy to think. It's still pretty cool. Something that'll never go away in my life. I like to be part of it.
I think we're all forgetting the greatest thing about this, the fact that you honoured us with your presence on this live stream.
Yeah,
I get to go to work on Sunday night and say to everyone else at work, "What did you do this weekend?" "Oh, I played football. I went to the park. I took my dogs out." "What do you do, Dave?" "Talk to the bloke from Night Trap." Beat that, bitches.
I like it. There you go.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah, I can see that in my work as well, but most people in my work are dead old and they wouldn't know what it is.
Yeah.
Technically, see that would be the same. So like, well, no, half the people at work would get it who are old like me and just go like, "Holy shit, you talked to the bloke from Night Trap?" The other half would go, "I have no idea what you're talking about." Then I would have to pull down a slidey screen with a pointer stick and just go, "You see, video games started in 1982 with the Atari 2600, and I have a whole pie chart leading up to the Sega Genesis."
And oh dear,
he's gone.
You've embarrassed him now, Dave.
Oh God damn it! You haven't got to go and see.
Oh well. I'm
still very impressed with the fact that he can drive and talk at the same time, because technically in this country, if you put that on YouTube, you can actually be fined by the police.
Well, at least I feel good about making a riff on something that someone's cool about. I don't think what's his name will appreciate my boiling of him when me and Harry did the riff on Games Master.
Oh, I think we better not talk about that. I think we've better move the conversation back to Night Trap very quickly. So, Giovanni, while you're back, do you have any?
Yeah, the Hangouts froze for a second.
Oh dear, it was hung out to dry for a second. So, Giovanni, do you have any funny or interesting stories regarding filming, the process of filming, particularly maybe the Augers?
No.
Yeah. That didn't last long, did it?
No. I think we'll have to call it.
What's the worst?
Internet.
What's the worst Mega CD game, guys?
Night Trap.
Sherlock Holmes.
Corpse Killer. But the best one.
There isn't an answer.
The best one, Lords of Thunder. Best fucking soundtrack, anyway.
No. The best one was it? I can't remember the Canadian title. Road Avenger is the best one.
Oh, Road Avenger is great.
No, actually, no, it's not. The best one is Sonic CD, obviously.
Yeah, Sonic CD is great.
That's the right answer.
That's my favourite Sonic game to this day.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles for me.
Nah, Sonic 2006. Now you're playing with power.
Was that
Ah,
on the
you're all puffs.
But the what about In Excess? Make your own movie. Make your own music.
Marky
video.
Mark.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Thank you for reminding me of that. I just threw up in my mouth.
I've been wanting to do a video for those for a long time, but
I've got-
Halfbit did those.
Make
He
it,
did
make it.
We're gonna whack.
If you want to see a great series of that, watch Retrospective Perspectives take on that. Halfbit's take on that.
Is he back?
Wow. Every now and then. But that series of him going through all those, I think it was Dream Factory, they're called.
Yeah, Dream Factory, yeah.
Fucking hilarious. He does it was great videos. They're so funny.
I've got an absolutely perfect mint copy of both Sherlock Holmes and the In Excess game.
God.
I
It's in,
don't
like,
mind
pristine
In Excess
condition.
gameplay. You'd have to put it on Facebook so you don't get slapped for copyright, but
Well, I've only got it to have it in the collection. I don't know why I like collecting from a Mega CD, because thinking about it, it probably has the most dated games, other than textbook adventures. Like,
yeah, but it's a poignant piece in time if you think about it. Which is right. Maybe some of the games are shit. There are a few good ones, but it was so epic. This is how I look at the Mega CD, which was. It was Sega coming back at Nintendo, if that makes sense. Which is, yeah, well, you got sprite scaling, we got it too, bitches. It just involves a £200 attachment, but I think there's something in there, though.
I do love my Mega CDs.
You've got more than one.
I've got one and
You
two.
said it, plural, bitches, plural.
I've only got one.
I got one and two, and I had to when we was moving house. I sold my CDX one.
Or maybe he was just referring to his CD collection. The mega these CDs. My CDs are mega.
Well, I have a little secret to let you all into.
Yes?
That I will be saving for a future time because I have no bloody games for it, so there's no point me showing it off. I just bought an Amiga CD32.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Been looking for
You want
one
to know the
while.
price? I bought it off someone at work who didn't know what it was. You know when you feel like an asshole, which is I should probably offer you
All
more
the
money
time.
for this, but
All the time.
yeah, I'm like, but this is a really good price. 25 quid.
Nice.
Right, good.
Got no games. I've just got
you
all
can
the
burn
hookups to
those.
the TV, the console, and the weird upside down controller.
Be quite honest with you, it's not worth buying any proper games of that system. You might as well just burn them.
Well...
No, I know it's shit. I just half my shelf just collapsed, and I shut my pants.
Dave, you better go and fix this.
I just wanted to, experience CD32. I know it's a terrible system. One of my greatest
I want
regrets
a
ever
CD32.
was I was in Toys R Us.
Convenient way to play the fucking
in-
Amiga.
I was in Toys R Us in the early 90s, and it was after, the system collapsed, and one of my greatest regrets ever was I saw boxed new in Toys R Us. They were flogging off their CD32s for £30 boxed. I'm like, why didn't I buy one? Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because you only had a fiver on you.
They're 25 quid.
No, I
29.99.
actually ignored it and went and bought Soul Blade on PlayStation.
Which I just did a video all about on Larry Bundy's channel.
Yeah, right. So
Okay,
go and check
sold
that
out.
out.
All Larry
Can
this, Larry that.
someone
I've got a
spell
question.
Giovanni's real name in the content down below so I can actually find him on Facebook?
That is
Okay, I'll do that. But I also have a question regarding Dan's videos for Larry, in a sense.
Yeah, Larry this, Larry that. It's like you don't even want to be with us anymore.
wants to be-
We are but, Scott, we are but small pond.
Yeah.
Dan,
I knew you when you had 990 subscribers.
are you editing the entirety of Larry's videos, or just small parts?
No, this is how it works, and I'm the same. When you finally get what it is, the idea he wants to do 4 videos a month. He does 2, I do 2.
I just realised what your shirt is, and it's awesome. Sorry.
Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah.
Saucy.
But what's happened is I've done his first video, and he really, really liked it, and he goes, "Do you want to do the next one?" So, out of the two that I did, they're the last two. So we'll see how it continues to go.
Can I ask you for a Sexy Biscuits intro?
Sexy Biscuits intro.
You can record it right now.
Biscuits.
I'll tell you what.
Have you got any biscuits?
I don't know what you are. I don't know.
Sexy watermelon flavour KitKat biscuits.
Ooh, do we want to continue the KitKat game? Right, who was it that wanted an intro?
Just say, well, Scott wants one first.
Nah,
Scott.
he can wait.
I was just going to, it sounds terrible. I was just going to say, do him first.
Nah, he can wait.
I'll be waiting in the prison showers.
What do you want your intro to be about?
I can't believe we're actually
Now
doing
you're
this.
asking me.
Have you got any? I can't believe I had to download this entire video just for this one section.
He's doing it right now. He's actually making it. He's making my video right
Do you
now.
have any biscuits in your house, sir?
No. Actually, I'm fine. I'm
gonna make you one now. How long do you want it to be?
No,
Like
do
5
Scott
seconds?
first. Do Scott. In fact, I demand you bring Scott first.
Fuck's sake.
Right. Well,
Right.
Can I just mess around? Give me games that you like. I need to get a pen.
All right.
Right,
Games
guys,
that I like.
I'm sorry to cut all this short, but I'm afraid this is going to have to wait for the post show because I'm afraid it's 25 to 1 in the morning, and all that time has absolutely flown by the last 3.5 hours. So I'd like to thank you, everybody out there watching this live stream right now, and everybody that watched this show. And indeed, every single person that's participated tonight. But not only them, everybody that's participated in every one of the first 50 Retro Unlim live shows, which includes Mr. Giovanni Lemm.
I'm actually now on her phone, so we spent the last 10 minutes trying to get this. This may be the most crazy experience of my entire life. Thank you, fellas.
We really appreciate your commitment to this.
Yeah,
do.
he's been great, mate.
Very supportive girlfriend.
Giovanni, we're going to close out the show now. I'd like to thank you very, very much for coming on the show tonight. And
Thank you so much.
I'm being so patient with us. Being so patient. It's been.
Oh my God! No, you guys are the patient ones. You guys are the patient ones. I appreciate you guys being so understanding. Thank you so much.
Well, you've been the most persistent, I should say. You've been probably the most gracious guest of all, or maybe even the craziest, to keep coming back to talk to us mad people. But we're very, very grateful for that.
No,
thank you very much, Mr. Giovanni Lemm.
Sorry, Mr. Yak. I'd be an asshole if I didn't say this. Put the camera on Giovanni.
Yes, I've done that.
Just say for me, Giovanni. Just say, "Oh yeah, sexy biscuits."
Oh dear.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
No, sorry, you froze.
Try again.
I'll try it again. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. How's that?
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
It's my
sir.
pleasure.
Oh yes, brilliant. And
What else can we get into the?
asking to say, hi, I'm Cousin Tony, and you're watching Retro Unlim Live.
Hi,
Can you
I'm
get at
Cousin
you,
Tony.
punch a spike in the face?
What?
Shut up, Dave.
Hey, everybody, I'm Cousin Tony, and you are watching Retro Unlim Live.
Hey,
Awesome.
thank you very much. Does anybody have any
Now get out your
requests?
phone, punch a
No,
spike
we're
in the
done.
face.
Come on.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm looking forward to seeing that video. I got the link, and I hope you guys friend request me, and we can chat again sometime. I'd love to if you guys ever want to do that again.
Yeah, cool.
What's your Facebook handle
Giovanni-
again?
It's Giovanni Lemm. Like I said, just type in Giovanni Lemm, and I'm literally the only one on the planet.
Sweet.
Oh God. What's that?
Now to sing us out.
Oh yeah. Get funky.
For fuck's sake.
Oh God, help me.
Copyright strike right there.
Not bad. Keep playing it.
It's a good tune.
That is cheesy.
Probably.
This thing is fucking absurd.
Oh yes. Guitar solo.
You guys like torturing me.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
And that was the Night Trap theme. Copyright some people who are probably going to take the stream down, and you're never going to see us ever again.
Fuck off, Google.
Oh, we'll definitely see y'all.
Any last requests, anybody?
I just
Say
want to
no.
say a massive thank you for being on this stream.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for considering me. I really appreciate it from all you guys, and I look forward again to hopefully talking to you guys in the future. And feel free to friend request me if there's anything you want in regards to, like you were saying before, signing. You know, if you have anything, I'd love to. If you want to get it to me, totally my pleasure, my honor. And that's it. You know, if you ever want to talk to me, feel free to contact me.
Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thanks, mate. You're a top bloke.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you so much for everything, guys. Have a great night.
Hey, thank you.
Bye-bye.
That's the end. Retro Unlim Live 50, over and out. Here's to another 50, and then after that, we'll probably all die. Good night.
Night.
Right.
Bye.
Cue montage.
Sayonara.